Sorry. What do we got today? We got something with F Trump. I don't know what happened. Oval Office, F Trump. So I'm guessing something happened and the liberals started to say F Trump. Trump didn't win, the Democrats failed. Huh? As a Californian, F Trump. I'm confused. What? F Trump is trending. That means liberals are crying again. Yeah, it sounds like it. I don't know what this is. What is this? I'm going back to being a Bernie bro. Okay. Dude, Bernie's a commie. Motherfucker shacks up with Elizabeth Warren and the fucking Democrats. Yikes. Fucking yikes, dude. Imagine if he seized control of the Treasury payment system. You'd call it a coup. You'd call it treason. But when it's Trump and Musk, silence. We are living through the part of history that will make future generations ask, why didn't anyone stop this? Post-referendum hypothetical involving Kamala Harris as president, allowing Bill Gates to dismantle the drawing apparel of Trump and Musk's action. F Trump is a signal. The Democrats are being about to cry again for the third week in a row. F Trump, just kidding. I love everything he's accomplishing so far.
I've been told I have 30 seconds, so I am going to tell you that we do have to. I don't swear in public very well, but we have to fuck Trump.
Whoa! Whoa, she wants to fuck Trump. Whoa! Whoa, lady. I don't think he wants to fuck you back, to be honest. Bro. No one wants to fuck you, old lady.
Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
I know as a VTuber we shouldn't be political, but F Trump. Fuck that puto. That is all. Oh god. It's a gay cat boy. Yikes. The Nick Fuentes group is coming out strong. Fuck. They're trying for a hilarious reason. A Democrat congresswoman messed up her attack line at a podium. Instead of yelling F Trump, she yelled, "We have to F Trump." I'm sorry, I have to the fuck is this? Hey, VTubers, what the fuck is wrong with your group of people? Hey, fix your shit. You got a bunch of dumbasses who probably need a fucking who need the noose. Jesus. Fucking VTubers, wrangle in your fucking crowd. Wrangle in your fucking animal party. F Trump, Donnie's owners. You put fucking Putin there. I'm trying to impeach his psychotic ass. Huh? Imagine being so stupid that you look at this treasonous, traitorous, totally corrupt, self-serving, ignorant clown, this racist, semi-literal, literate moron, this sexually assaulting, pathologically lying, feeble-minded, morally bankrupt, constitutionally illiterate simpleton, this bloated nitwit with his cotton candy hair, radioactive tinted skin, and obese. Oh? He went, what's his face? There's this one content creator that goes around trying. He contacted Jack Doherty and fucking he does this kind of shit. Forgot his name. But I mean, he's followed through with everything he said in his campaign. So I mean, well, to an right for now. I don't know. I don't know what that guy's talking about. Mega regretting they voted for Trump. You thought it would only affect the other guy until you realized you are the other guy too. JD Vance, F. Trump, Doge, the dog, Snowden, migrants, Oval Office, Glenn Beck, raids. F. Trump, he's insane. What is it? The Chiefs Super Bowl performance was a disaster. Totally embarrassing. Maybe too focused on DEI nonsense instead of winning. Meanwhile, the Eagles get all the help. USAID money flowing in like water. And it's... Let's not forget Taylor's her presence was for Travis Kills. The only good part, the massive cheer for me. Louder than anything in the game. Holy shit, Trump. I'll be signing an executive order next week ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws which don't work, back to plastics. Yeah, what you did. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, apparently there's been a lot of shit about the whole Kendrick Lamar stuff, right? About his event at the Super Bowl. Everybody's, well, basically most of the content creators are are like, oh, he did bad. It's like, bros, you guys didn't even get to a fucking pre-event. You guys are crying about it. The dude is a fucking musician. He's a performer. What the fuck are you guys talking about? They paid him to do a performance. He did a performance. Whether you like it or not is not it's your opinion. Did you get paid for it? No. Get the fuck out, you fucking weirdos. He did his job and he fulfilled it. That was it. A bunch of content creators bitching and moaning. We're gambling addicts, by the way. Fucking stake gamblers. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump, Elizabeth Warren, Hexet, you. Imagine the STDs they're giving each other. Wait, what? Why did this person throw Elizabeth Warren in there? They're not even on the same team. What? I'm so confused. Elizabeth Warren is on your team, brother. What are you talking? See, this is the... Uh-oh. What does this say? Jersey girl, save democracy, no DMS, no... Oh, that's why. Yikes. Ladies, wrangle in your fucking crowd. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Fucking females acting retarded. See, this is why females shouldn't vote. I'm sorry. Maxine Waters. Oh, see, another female. Jesus Christ. To wrangle in your females. Fucking hell. This is your this is your demograph. Fix your shit. Here are 4 videos. Her inciting violence, harassing people, and spewing hate. Oh yeah, she always spews hate. This was recently. This is in the past.
Wow, wow, wow. Look at this crowd. Elon Musk, where are you? Bring your ass over here so you can see who's here and what we're doing. We're not afraid of you. We know that you are the co-president now of the United States of America. But
we know that you are the co-president now of the United States of America.
And how he has
and I am such a retard who fondled the ball.
Financial Protection Bureau. What is it? This is so important. Prior to this being organized in the Dodd-Frank reforms,
Dude, all you guys fucking lost. You guys just, you guys had the ball in your hand and they just fucking tossed it out like it was fucking nothing.
Consumers didn't have any
You
place.
guys just threw that
really
shit
file
away.
They didn't have anywhere to go when the
Fucking-
biggest banks in America was ripping them off. The student loans were being undermined. They didn't have
Student?
any
What do you
place
mean?
to go. Why does Elon Musk want to get rid of all of this? Because he's a thief. He's a
Why does Elon Musk want to get rid of this?
Gangsta.
He didn't do it.
he brings his
Trump said to do it.
billionaire friends along
In his
with him
campaign, he said he
because
was
they
gonna
think
cut the
that
waste.
They can take over this country. And Trump has said, you give me enough money, you can have it.
Trump has said, if you give me enough money, you can have it.
If you see anybody
Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, this one.
from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store,
Right here, she's essentially saying you should harass people.
anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome. If you
Well, you're not welcome either. Fucking weirdo. Maxine Waters and her entourage attempted to steal my phone twice after I asked her why she's so against government transparency. Democrats are violent. Of course, she had no answer, so the next step was to try and confiscate the device used to record her. Swamp. God damn it. Fucking AI, dude. Dude, this is so yeah. Yeah. The fuck? Like, cause the Bill San Francisco. I bet she was trying to get kickbacks from fucking Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh well, too bad he's now in prison. Or well, he's out and getting shellacked. 15 years ago, Elizabeth Warren would be applauding. Oh, is this the same thing? Elizabeth Warren stuff. Nothing's new on this, right? Yeah, alright. Oh yeah, this happened. Yeah, that's right.
By forcing the CFPB not to do its job, President Trump, Elon Musk, and the author of Project 2025, Russ Vought, are giving Wall Street banks an unlimited get-out-of-jail-free card so they can cheat working families, even while community banks continue to play by the rules. You know, for any Americans who have money deposited at JP Morgan or Wells Fargo or any other of the giant banks, they should now know that there is no one on the job to make sure that those banks are not scamming you.
Wait, what is she? What? What is she talking about?
Suggestion that the ranking
Oh, is she talking about how I guess Trump gutted the whole of? No, I don't know what she's talking. Is she talking about Musk? But Musk isn't even he has no he doesn't have his hands on the Federal Reserve though.
member has
But
made
I'm
here
so
is
co-
that the
yeah,
big
I don't know
banks
what the
can
fuck
now
she's on.
Scam individuals right now. Any change in the laws regarding how they're supposed to be treating the individual consumer?
To my recollection, they have changed no laws. They have changed no policies. Everything is the same. All they're doing is looking into the books.
Consumers out there.
So I don't know what they're
along that line?
talking about.
Law changes? No, I'm not aware of
Any
law
changes, any rules that they would have to follow?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are they still audited, and do they still have the regulators in watching all of their businesses just as they did before?
I would
they'd
assume
have
so.
all the regulators except for the CFPB.
Very
If in fact, in the hypothetical, the CFPB weren't carrying that out.
Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they only took out that one organization, right? The CFPB, right? And the USAID stuff. So that's the only organizations they ripped out because they were just waste. And they did nothing. Elizabeth Warren is a figure just with how she criticized people for flying in private planes. And she got caught doing it herself and tried to hide. Look how she's trying to... Look at that. Miss Pocahontas. Pocahontas. Taking a plane. I think I spelled Pocahontas wrong. Whatever. Ow, that's loud. Alright, nothing's new here. We'll do that later. Let's try to get some of the news. We'll look at fucking dumb streamer drama. Dumb streamer drama. We need some more fighters in Congress like Nancy Mace. What happened? God damn, what the fuck? Oh, this was yesterday. Oh, this was her talking about, yeah, so she went through, right, she went through a case, and she's still fighting the case, I think. Thanks, J.K. Rowling for giving her the answer to keep fighting for women and girls. Asking why she does not want to be in a bathroom, locker room, or private space with a man ever again. I mean, she's a survivor, right? She got attacked. I don't know the details of that information. That's not my problem. The Republican Attorney General issues a statement in response to Nancy's nutty speech tonight in the House by basically saying she's fucking. That was Rep. May's comments on U.S. House floor. These statements made by Congress regarding the conduct of the South Carolina Attorney General are categorically false. For Alan Wilson. Mrs. Mace either does not understand or is purposefully mischaracterizing the role of the Attorney General. At this time, our office has not received any reports or requests for assistance from any law enforcement or prosecution agency regarding this matters. Additionally, the Attorney General and members of his office have no role and no knowledge of these allegations until her public statement. Congresswoman Mace and the Attorney General have been at multiple events together over the last 6 months. She also has the Attorney General's personal cell phone number. Not once has she approached or reached out to him regarding any of her concerns. Regarding her claim that the Attorney General refused to receive evidence of a crime from a victim's attorney, it is important to clarify that there is the chief prosecutor for this reason. The Attorney General would always direct any citizen to provide evidence of the crime to an appropriate law enforcement agency, which would be responsible for the investigation. Since stepping into office, the Attorney General has made it a priority to strengthen the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, establish the Human Trafficking Task Force, which is now considered a model nationwide, led efforts to reform the state's domestic violence laws, and created the Crime Victims Service Division, which makes it easier for victims to receive help. Before serving as Attorney General, Ellen Wilson served as an... Oh, she just taught... Okay. It is clear that Attorney General Ellen Wilson has built his career on protecting the most vulnerable in our state. Any statement was blatantly false and politically motivated. Was attracted to that... but didn't act on that attraction until it was 25 years old. Oh, about her. You're off the hook all day, and right now, as I type this, people are stepping out of the shadows to share and help victims. More potential victims are coming forward. Also, South Carolina always delivers for each other. Oh. You have it. Well, looks like she's making big moves right now. Trying to rally some people. What is this? We'll watch that later. Let's go. Yeah, there's like a couple streamer dramas. Let's see. Let's go after this. What is this?
There has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has
already
issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that we, the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings.
So basically suspended people taking a pill to kill the fetus in the womb.
That are undermining their own enforcement.
So you're saying the Biden administration should ignore this court, but what does that look like? What does that actually mean?
I think the interesting thing when it comes to a ruling is that it relies on enforcement. And it is up to the Biden administration to choose whether or not to enforce such a ruling.
But is that...
Oh, this was during the Biden time. Yeah. Ignore the court. Yeah. Yeah,
There
basically
has
she
been
was
thought-
saying, yeah, just do illegal shit, even though they ruled against. Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Sounds like a threat to American democracy. It is. She's breaking the rules. Suggests that Biden admin defy certain court decisions, citing politicization of the judiciary and need to protect vulnerable populations. I mean, they did do that, though, right? Right, they made the LGBTQ a protected class. They made females a protected class. I mean, they made the politicians a protected class. I mean, how many people do they have to make protected class, right? Everyone's a second-class citizen except for those protected class people, right? Even the Hollywood shitheads are a protected class because they hold a lot of money. They're not going to be able to hide the reason this is happening much longer. This is bad. There was already something bad going on right before, right? I think it drove into the fucking... Oh, yeah, it did. It went off the ramp. It went the wrong way. Oh, jeez, it just... And I crashed into the fucking passenger plane. And this private jet is of someone famous. If you could say one thing to the lady, what would it be? I've had 21 abortions. You need some help. Kamala Harris will be remembered as... the first thing that comes to mind when you see this. Jeez. Maybe the Trump admin is the one bringing in the DEI candidates only because they're white. What? Landing gear, INOT. We'll find out if this was poor maintenance or a critical failure. Rats enforced idiocy. A good one. Immigrants built this nation. Did Mexicans build America? Kinda. I mean, you could say Asians built it, black people built it, white people built it. Yeah, I mean, Mexicans kinda built it. Native Americans definitely built it. I mean, I guess you could say yes because they were right before the Texas was right at one point. Texas was a part of Mexico. California was a part of Mexico at one point. So yes. So I would say yes. Mexicans, well, some did. They say Trump is out of control, but he's not. He's just out of their control. Tucker Carlson, correct. Paid $2 million to rent Oprah and Lost. Put a sticker on a garbage truck and won. That will always be a good one. There's more news about this. We'll get some later. Let's finish off a lot of the... maybe I should wait it off on that one. That's fine. But let's finish off.
It's just as important to say, okay,
stuff.
I believe in this, and that's why I'm standing up for it, and that's why I'm not being difficult. And then there are other moments to go like, am I the asshole in the room? Like,
I mean, yeah, you are the asshole in the room. Didn't you get help from Amber Heard?
like what is?
And then didn't you lawyer up with one of didn't you lawyer up with Amber Heard's lawyers that she had? So it's kind of like, you're a bitch.
happening here? I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a.
Oh, also, Baldoni, Mr. Baldoni, I forgot his name. Justin Baldoni, there we go. his I saw a little bit of his court document, and he made it an extensive year, he did year he had a lot of information. He basically documented the whole movie, right, his whole time during the movie and everything. So I mean, he extensively talked about like the whole timeline and everything. So it's gonna be interesting how well she's gonna fight against the claims and whatnot, because she's the one that brought up the claims first, and then Baldoni, I think,
a little pink
countersued or
sticker where I'm supposed to
counterclaims or
go
something.
and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that like that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes.
See, this is the issue with some Hollywood fuckwits. They always want their right. They always want to have their hands in the script when they haven't done right, when they're just selected for the role.
that might have felt like a
Right, they want to change a lot of shit, even though it's not their movie,
rug
and they're
pull
just acting in it.
because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in because I felt like I don't want to just like be an actor. Like I want to, I want to have more authorship.
You want to have more authorship? Oh, well, too bad you didn't get paid for that. You got paid to be a fucking actor, you nosy cunt. Why did I ask, rhetorically, do people do this to themselves? She's pretty, girl, a decent actress. Just sit down, shut up, and do your job when you have one. I know, right? Because she's mentally ill and a rabid narcissist, yeah. She's basically a nepo, right? Nepotism. Right, all the Hollywood people, even fucking streamers, dude. Right. Favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them... I don't know if that's what she's trying to do, but it seems like it. Because she got Ryan Reynolds in on it and shit. It's really weird. There's some weird shit going on. If they hired her to be an actor, be the actor, period. You can just walk into a place and take over. She's cooked. 100% enjoy the popcorn at this moment. I know, right? I think all this was a projection from their marriage, and Baldoni got the brunt of it. It'll all come out one day. But it makes a lot of sense. As more things resurface, the evidence is clear. If she's smart, she will settle, but I'm low-key hoping she doesn't. Yeah, what Baldoni gave in his court documents, holy shit, that shit is long. Because he gave like a whole timeline of everything. Okay, let's see what we got here. Joe Rogan, people are worried that Elon is going to steal everyone's money.
Okay, and when you've been...
Organization.
That's fucking amazing. And then this other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. Oh. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is, he's a super genius that's been fucked with. Okay? And when you've been fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind three-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum because he's gonna hunt you down. He's gonna find out what's going on, and that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really fucking corrupt and goofy systems, and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
Organization.
That's fucking amazing.
Bringing in all these psychopath wizards. I mean, they don't have any skin in the game, right? Right, their one objective is to do the job, right? They don't care. Right, these people are right. I would assume these people are young and they don't really care about which political office is in office right now. So it's just a job to them. Alright, let's see what's going on with the...
Bro, I don't give a fuck. I went off.
Let's see what's going on with the Pokimane and... Because it was like yesterday. Pokimane came out and said some shit about the whole event. It was like, okay, well, you don't even do anything. You just fucking sit in your house and talk down to people and... sit on camera to look good like a pinup doll. No one wants to hear your opinion. Well, I mean, the people watching in your stream probably want to hear your opinion. I don't. You're just a fucking bitch.
Fuck you. You're a fake, twisted bitch. You'd only come at the white people because guess what, Pokimane? Bro, I don't give a fuck. I went off. And fuck Pokimane too. Pokimane, fuck you. You're a fake, twisted bitch. You'd only come at the white people because guess what, Pokimane? You know that's what they get to cater to and shit like that. You can't get canceled for coming at the white people. Why do you people have to bring racism
canceled for
in general?
coming at the white people?
Keep it to yourself, bitch. Holy fuck. No, chat, I'm gonna just say it for what it is. GG, I don't give a fuck. I will never, listen, I will never ever stop saying what I truly believe in, what I like to say. Straight up, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro. Bro,
Fucking me. There's Aiden Ross. Aiden cooked her. If I were both, I'd log off and never get back. What are you talking about? No one cooked anybody. She also mentions black people to Aiden. Ross is such a good friend of... Jesus. Rare Aiden Ross W. I mean, look, Aiden Ross does a lot of stupid shit sometimes, but I mean, he's still a human being, right? Still has his opinions.
They know what I'm saying.
What do we got here? What's XQC saying?
You should understand, man. This pandering to the audience here is getting old. Brother, that is the richest thing that you can say in this current moment. That is so rich coming from you. You watch this video, which you would consider this to be textbook pandering, and you did that because I have a take that's different. Now I'm on pandering. What a ridiculous analysis of what we just watched. I don't, brother. Again, you can interlace messages and symbolism in music and performances, okay? But if you say,
true. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Why do you think they make music videos? Why do video game companies make trailers? It's a well-known thing within the industry to do such a thing. So why are these dumb retards talking about it? I mean, XQC is correct though.
Oh, you didn't like it? It's because you didn't understand it. You were not meant to understand it.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason why musicians, developers, movie producers, there's a reason why they do those types of things. Right? It's to invoke an emotion out of people. And the only way people will understand what they're saying is if they can catch on to the patterns and to the symbolisms and stuff. But you'd have to be like looking for it. And obviously, Pokimane is not one of those people. Fucking
This isn't
dunce
some
cap.
documentary or some
I mean, the fucking XQC. Oh, good on him. He knows what he's talking about.
puzzle that you're watching. The point of a halftime show isn't to give the world some puzzle to figure out and to guys, let me put down my beer.
I mean, first and foremost, it's entertainment. The dude's a musician.
Here are my peanuts. I'm at the bar right now. It's really fucking loud. Everybody's chanting some shit. Go Eagles. Go bumfucks. Oh shit. I'm gonna put down the beer and my peanuts. Put that aside. Let me try to work on this puzzle right now. What does he mean by this? Hold on a minute. Another song came on. Another puzzle. Hold on. What does he mean? Now I say, dude, at the end of the show, I wasn't entertained. It's because you didn't understand. Okay. You're dumb as fuck. Shut up. Okay. Okay. If the whole thing is meant to be some form of double entendre hidden message, of course you're gonna miss the mark. But don't act like it's people's fault for missing the mark. Don't put the blame on the people that are watching.
Look, just because people didn't understand like the concepts of everything that was shown in the his Kendrick Lamar's little show event, I mean that's. Hey, people are not gonna understand it. People won't understand it. Sucks.
Why they didn't get it then? That is
Sucks you guys are
such a-
dented.
that
I
is a
don't know.
ridiculous thing to say.
Sucks you guys got the dunce cap. I
Everybody
don't know what to
says
say.
The message, the symbol, brother. What is the message? Bro, why don't you just say you're dumb? Why don't you explain to me what the message is? Please explain it. Divided America is the message. Not so I understand it. Okay. I'm gonna say some shit and people are gonna call me radical for this, okay?
XQC3.
Simple concept. Why do people use divisive language and divisive behavior to call out divisiveness? Explain to me.
Also, you have to bear in mind. Think of this is the American Constitution too, right? Where you have the most freedom of expression, right? Freedom of freedom of speech, right? To a very large extent, right? You have to do some very you have to do some very hard shit to fucking break the laws on that stuff.
How that,
Especially in America. I mean, when you're in like, I don't know, Canada land or fucking UK, okay, maybe you're gonna get fucked way easier. But yeah, in America, oh man.
makes
Pretty
any
free.
sense. Oh, dude, you didn't like this? That's because you're fucking white. Dude, that's ridiculous. Like, bro, that's divisive. Like, how are you going to say we need to progress past being divisive? Here, let me show you what to do. I'm gonna divide us more, but more on our side. Bro, why don't you just lead by example? I don't understand it. How is that to do? If you know better, do better. What a dumb take.
There is no message, pot friend.
I mean, look, it's a halftime show. You didn't like it. You didn't like it. Okay. Don't be
You know what I'm saying?
don't be weird and like just because. See, this is like you're fine. It's fine to criticize it, but it just all they can do is a fucking surface level fucking analysis, right? Because they're not fucking smart. They got the fucking dunce cap. It was the same with right fucking what Aiden Ross said. I mean, I don't know to what extent he cares about it, but he flamed fucking Pokimane. I'm confused on why we blaming all white. Yeah, also, I don't know why Pokimane was blaming white. I think she's just trying to... Right, she's just trying to panhandle, right? So does everyone else? I know. You mean the people over the age of 50? Yeah, I mean, she clearly threw out the race card, right? To whatever, I don't know. It's Pokimane. It's Pokimane who fucking throws up gang signs like a dumb bitch. And then she wonders why she gets harassed a lot, or she gets criticized a lot. Well, maybe don't be dumb. maybe don't be dumb. I don't know. Terrorism apologist streamer Hassan Piker gets angry at Asmongold and says that the government doesn't care about video games or gamers. That's not true. Why are they constantly attacking video games through legal action? That doesn't make any sense. And then why do you got the LGBTQ people fucking targeting games too? I mean, if they just wanted to make a good game, they wouldn't fucking do the dumb shit they did. He conveniently ignores the Gamergaters spoke in front of the UN. Well, I mean, that did happen. I don't know why he's denying it. They did somehow get to the UN. It is interesting how they got there. Very strange. And then the US funneled billions of anti-gamer outlets. Yeah, apparently Kotaku. Apparently they got Kotaku and shit. So they were doing they were the USAID or whatever funding agencies they were doing. Yeah, they were getting money apparently.
Nobody gives a fuck in the grand scheme of things.
What do you mean nobody gets? This is your taxpayer money, brother.
Nobody cares.
The distribution of money is going to a lot of places. Aren't you kind of concerned at where it's going?
Cares about gamers. If you think that they're
See, I think he's too hung up about the group of people that are being attacked. Right? It doesn't matter about the group of people being attacked. The fact is that they are funneling money to fucked up organizations of your taxpayer money for some fucking reason that isn't helping the American national group of, of the land. Like, come on. Not in our best interest
there is
at
this
all.
Level of, there's this level of interest in the
honestly, this is a fucking national security concern.
in the government oppressing
all of our money is getting fucking sent to fuck all somewhere.
gamers, you are out of your mind. I don't know what to tell you. I cannot believe that this is actual commentary on the realm of politics, and it's getting a lot of motion. It's 700,000 views. Nobody gives a fuck in the
Dude, ever since that shit went down with Asmongold and fucking Hassan, when they did that stream, Hassan has always been, dude, he's always been going downhill he's getting so salty at everything. So fucking hilarious. Yeah, you got fucking, yeah, exactly. Or if you think there is not a movement to change the culture through media. Yeah, I mean, they did it through, they're doing it through Hollywood, they're doing it through your fucking kids' toys, your kids' media. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? It's okay. It's because Hassan doesn't, he's too meathead, right? He doesn't understand. He's not a smart person. He can't play 4D chess. Doesn't know shit. Right, while you're so worried about this one thing, they're already playing 3 different fucking moves to fuck you in the butt. Yeah, soon enough they're gonna fucking stick your head on a pike. Mr. Piker. Fucking Jesus. Hassan has no idea. Apparently, Grum said something. The governmental aftermath of GG1 was swift. Basically, the first iteration of Gamergate. FBI launched full investigation. Actually, cleared Gamergate. By the way, I think this was the whole Zoe Quinn, Brianna Wu. Taylor, I think Taylor Lorenz was a part of that shit too. There, right? You had a lot of these LGBT people coming in and doing this weird shit. Many government NGOs were launched to combat radicalism and toxicity in games. Madam Savvy has documented tons of these. They filtered into academia too. Oh, talking about that one. Oh, what was it? Forgot what country it was, but there was like a seminar about video game creation. It was like a DEI seminar. It was fucking weird. Anyways, Gamergate was widely blamed for aiding in the rise of Breitbart and personalities that got Trump elected in the first term. This led to even more government scrutiny. The left at the time, and even now, firmly believe. Oh yeah, that's when fucking Hillary Clinton was running. Believe that lost and Trump won because, in no small part, Gamergate that attacks. Wait, they wanted Hillary Clinton to run the country, and didn't want Trump to win the country. Okay, the attacks have been non-stop since, and we know now they were funded by USAID and other organizations. When you understand this and were there for the history, it is very clear that Asmongold is right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we lived through it, basically. I think Hassan at that time was doing his red pill content and fucking his podcast with Ethan Klein too, right? Possibly. So it's like, obviously this guy wouldn't know shit. The dude is fucking meathead retarded. He knows nothing.
Nobody gives a
all he talks about right. All he knows now is talking shit about Trump, or right, talking about overseas shit that he doesn't really know about.
fuck. In the grand scheme of things, no.
No, it was just a repeat. Do you have an idea and are intentionally lying and deflecting to gaslight us? I mean, he could be right. He could be intentionally lying. The Gamergate identity was their attack vector precisely because it is cross-culture and exact opposite of the identity of politics identity. Gender, cross-sexual, Gamergate was everyone. With most every revolution, some kind of historians like to pinpoint the spark of the flame. Right before Donald Trump inauguration, UN was trying to pass some kind of resolution against game development and gamers themselves on which games that we all can download and play. Oh, there's Madam Savvy. Probably stay there. Interfere with Brazilian politics. Yeah, we already know about that. Yeah. They funded the government around the world. Yes. DHS gives money to groups that have nothing to do with terrorism. Yes. USAID gave money to losers. Yes. DOJ sat at the table with many activists. Yes. I can go on for days and we'll soon be showing even more. Alright, there we go. Hassan isn't a gamer? He never was. All the dude talked about was fucking red pill content. Being a fucking meathead. Like a fucking Andrew Tate. He still acts like that too. Right? He never stopped acting like that. He still acts like that. Not only that, but he adds on the political flair on it. Is even more fucking dentage. Fucking dunce cap motherfucker.
Surveillance video capturing a runway disaster.
That dude went to fucking university. Well, actually, it was college or university. He went to University of Michigan or some fucking stupid shit.
Video
Still
capturing
dentage,
a
though.
runway disaster in real time as a Learjet heading from Austin, Texas, landing at Scottsdale Municipal Airport.
Oh, it landed.
Veers off the runway, crashing into a larger Gulfstream business jet parked nearby.
Expect to go around when you just had an emergency.
The National Transportation Safety Board already investigating.
It appears that the left main gear failed upon landing, resulting in the accident.
A large
the main gear
piece of that
failed.
landing gear can be seen lying
So as soon as he landed, probably broke off. Because he fucking went in too hard.
on the runway. Authorities say 5 people were involved in the crash. 1 person died.
Oh, shit.
Representatives for Motley Crue frontman Vince Neil say the private jet belonged to the singer, but he was not on board.
Wait, it was the Motley Crue's jet, but it wasn't the crew, it wasn't the band on board?
The band sharing on social media there were 2 pilots and 2 passengers on the plane. And in a now deleted post, that Neil's girlfriend and a friend both suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Oh.
And were taken to local hospitals. Poison frontman Bret Michaels, who has toured with Motley Crue, posting that his thoughts and prayers go to Neil's girlfriend Rain and all those injured, adding, "I was relieved to hear that my friend Vince Neil was not on board."
hell?
The accident comes amid a string of unrelated aviation incidents in recent
Oh
weeks.
no! Oh no! Don't show that! Oh shit!
67 people died in Washington, D.C. when
Oh,
an Army
no.
helicopter
Oh,
slammed
no,
into an
no.
American Airlines regional jet.
Oh no!
A medevac jet crashed in Northeast
fuck.
Philadelphia, killing 7. And 10 people were killed this past Friday in a commuter plane crash in icy, snowy conditions on approach to Nome, Alaska. Aviation experts say flying in the U.S. is still extremely safe and that these devastating accidents should not be cause for panic.
It's a combination of a coincidental rash of accidents coupled with a huge heightened sense of sensitivity on the public.
The crash comes just weeks
Yeah.
before Motley
I
Crue
mean,
is set
yeah.
to begin their Las Vegas residency. The band in that
Yeah,
now
people are
deleted
watching the
post
news,
says
yeah.
that they will find a way to support the family of the person who died.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take
This is
Today.
not. This
when
is
you're
what
on the go.
happens
Just
when you
follow
know
the
our
Today
federal
podcast on
regulations.
Apple
Yeah.
Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever
I
you
mean,
listen.
especially the Alaskan plane one. Fucking overloaded, obviously crashed. The way the signal went out, it's like, come on. The medevac one was also a weird one. Right? We don't know. I don't know if the more information on the medevac one was given. But the Black Hawk one was also a weird. Black Hawk one. Trump meets with Jordan's King Abdullah.
And President Donald Trump is forging ahead with his plan for the U.S. to take control of Gaza and turn it into the Rivera of the Middle East. For his plan to move forward, Trump has been pressuring Arab allies like Jordan's King Abdullah to take in the Palestinians who call Gaza home. During a visit to the White House today, the king announced Jordan would take in about 2,000 sick kids from Gaza, but would not commit to anything else.
And there you have it. Mr. Jordan dude is taking in some refugees for the time being until they can rebuild everything. I'm guessing they're probably going to set up some kind of like shipping company or something to get materials out there and what, right? I would assume this is gonna be a big fucking development plan, and you're gonna have probably some of these countries hold some of the materials so that they can, right, transport everything.
Egypt and the Arab countries, we're being invited by Mohammed bin Salman to discussions in Riyadh. I think the point is how do we make this work in a way that is good for everybody?
Right.
Obviously, we have to look at the best interests of the United States, of the people in the region, especially to my people of Jordan.
During the meeting, Trump was also asked how the U.S. would own Gaza without using taxpayer money to purchase the land.
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make sure that there's going to be peace, and there's not going to be any problem, and nobody's going to question it, and we're going to run it very properly, and eventually we'll have economic development at a very large scale, maybe the largest scale on that site.
This comes as many Palestinians are already returning to the war-torn territory after Israel and Hamas reached a ceasefire deal. But the deal could be in jeopardy after Hamas accused Israel of violating their agreement, saying...
Yeah, so this isn't the first time they've said that Israel, right, broke the rules on the agreement. Right, there have been, right, off and on ceasefire deals, and the Hamas people keep saying, no, you broke the deal.
More hostage releases. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu threatened to resume fighting in Gaza if Hamas does not free more hostages as planned by Saturday.
What? Let's see. See what this. Just so you know, I'm set. The employee violated Hatch Act with directive to skip homes with Trump signs, OSC says. Whoop. Oh shit, oops. Aside FEMA signaling history of misspending billions of taxpayer dollars and going largely unchecked. Oh shit. FEMA paying for hotels. FEMA employees fired over egregious 59 mil payment. Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. Those people should be fired. Jesus. Yeah, 59 mil? Like, what the fuck? Holding payments for migrant housing in New York after Musk blasts money for hotels. Like, what? 59? How are you giving that much money to these hotels? And then some of them aren't even doing it. Like, what? Like, what the fuck? Oh shit. Fuck. Trump calls for abolishing FEMA expanding federal conspiracy. Wasteful FEMA spending top 9 bill during the pandemic. Yeah.
Step into my office. Why? Because you're fucking fired.
Because you're fucking fired. You're fired. So fired. What is this?
Rather odd that you know there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, you know, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for.
Oh, we live in glorious times. This might be the single best, what are we calling this, press conference that I've ever seen done in an Oval Office. By the way, Elon Musk's son.
Well, I
How
mean,
cute is that kid? We're gonna get to the
wait, was
best
it just,
bits
did he
here.
sign any
This
documents
was
or anything?
insane. But first, let me play you
Any
a clip from
executive
Joe
orders
Rogan
this day?
from his latest episode
No?
because he hit the nail on the head about Elon Musk here. Let's go.
Organization.
That's And then this
he
other
plays
thing about
this one,
Elon.
yeah.
Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's a super genius that's been fucked with. Okay? And when you've been fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind three-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum, because he's gonna hunt you down. He's gonna find out what's going on, and that's
the boogeyman is
that's
coming.
good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really fucking corrupt and goofy systems, and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
So the at a high level, if you say what is the goal of Doge and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. Are we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, FX, we would have to. If you sorry, tell you gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, or if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy. We live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at this,
I think he's talking about
today,
Obama's
what
system
do you think of the way things
that they
have turned out?
repurposed.
We have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want, and it's not. It does not match the will of the people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really
I mean, we are already bankrupt.
The interest payments alone.
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but please remind me what this is, because I'm pretty sure this is right. This is every citizen. This is all the debt that each citizen has. So I don't know what to tell you, but debt per taxpayer. Look at that shit. Fucked. We're all fucked. Especially with inflation, we're all fucked. They can just keep printing fucking money. Look at Doge clock. It's part real-time savings objective from reducing government waste. So right now they are in the 85 billion right now. This is 7 trillion. Yeah, that's trillion. Million, billion, trillion. But yeah. There you go. Have fun.
On the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget. which is shocking because we spend a lot of money on defense. But and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is it's not optional
kinda
for us
technically
to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have
the
the
only
resources
thing
necessary
that's
to provide
fucking
things to
keeping
its
this shit
citizens
going
and
is the
not simply
fucking
be
money
servicing
printers.
vast amounts of debt.
This is exactly right. The
And
people
people not
voted for this. If
fucking,
voted
you
for
know,
Trump, this is what you voted
getting
for.
this and
We
then
hear the
fucking
leftoids
offing
on the media
themselves, right?
complaining about this. They'll never complain about the findings that Doge has found and how corrupt and crazy they are. No, they'll try to spin it in a different way, that it's a coup or it's Elon Musk and his team.
Well, I mean, yeah, they called it a coup.
Bureaucrats have had
They
access
called
to
it
your
against
Social Security numbers
democracy.
for years. They still do. And these are also unelected people that work in Washington. This is what the people want. And this is
Yeah.
how you lower
Yeah, they keep saying, no, this is what the people want. What do you mean? The people voted for this shit. Literally.
inflation. You stop insane government spending.
Yeah,
and
you
this,
literally
what they
stop.
found is what you would
Yeah, you see, yeah, exactly. You see the fucking insane government spending we're seeing all over the fucking place for the last 4 years that we had no fucking idea about. And then we don't even know where that money is now. It's like, oh shit, yeah, well, goodbye money. It's fucking probably gone now.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million?
Whoa.
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that you know
Someone walked away with 30 mil?
People in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow managed to accrue tens of millions of dollars.
I think they're talking about like Elizabeth Warren and fucking all these other politicians like Nancy Pelosi and shit. Right, because it is strange, right? How they have so much money like that.
Net worth while they are in that position,
Yeah.
which is, you know, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So, you know, we're looking at, say, well, we just.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do so.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a
Don't.
hostile takeover of
The
government
fucking
and
kid.
doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your
Look at
response to
Elon's
that
kid.
criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. You know, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House. We won the Senate. The people voted.
Yeah, also, if they really wanted to stop, right, if the House and the Senate really wanted to, which they could call in Trump to make some kind of ruling or something, right? But they haven't. They're probably trying to figure out what to do. Because Trump just went, dude, Trump went fucking ham. He's attacking a lot. He's going all over the place, man.
For major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for.
Yeah, they're
for
trying to
major
figure out
government
what to
reform,
attack first
and that's
because
what people are gonna get. They're gonna get what
he's
they
just
voted
put
for.
so much, right? He's
And
just
a lot of
put
times
so
that,
much
you know,
on the
people
table.
That don't get what they voted for. But in this presidency,
And right,
they are
the
gonna get what
Dems
they
are
voted
probably
for.
trying to
And that's what
trying to
democracy is all
research
about.
everything to see if they can stop
You know,
anything.
one of the things is like we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this obviously there need to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, well, okay, well, let's if people can retire, you know, with full benefits.
Yeah, I mean, they already gutted a lot of the employees from a lot of these agencies, and they're just like, yeah, we only need like, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred, and that's it. We don't need like this over-bloated bureaucracy of like, what, over 10,000 employees? Oh, what are you guys doing?
Everything that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything.
Yeah.
And we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then
they're not documenting it. They're only documenting it through fucking through physical documentation. There's no fucking electronic documentation whatsoever, it seems.
it goes down a mine. And like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork.
He's talking about like the old fucking filing cabinets that you just fucking store at the bottom of your basement and just let it collect dust.
A picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures
Oh
afterwards.
god, are we back in the fucking
this mine
60s,
looks like
right?
something out of the 50s,
Right?
because it was
50,
started
yes,
in 1955.
50s. Like,
So
Jesus.
it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down and sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on
So
this.
basically,
if
he's
we
saying
take
they're
those
using an
people and say, like,
outdated
you know what,
system
instead of
for a
working
while,
in a
and they
mine
haven't
shaft
fixed
and,
it.
Carrying manila envelopes to, boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else, and you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way.
The place that he's talking about is called Iron Mountain. I'm going to play you a little clip at the end of the video and tell you about it. I didn't know about this either. This is crazy stuff. Let's get back to it. Guys, before we get back to the video, if you don't mind just smashing that thumbs up button for your boy, that really goes a long way into helping me out. And if you enjoy these videos, and this is not your first time here, hopefully this could be the video which I can earn your subscription. Let's get it.
How do you stop looking? I mean, we've already found it. We have a case in New York where a hotel has paid $59 million. $59 million because it's housing migrants, illegal migrants. All illegal, I believe.
And they were being paid twice the normal room rate at 100% occupancy.
Unbelievable.
So it's a racket.
Yeah, and we were paying journalists apparently for some reason on taxpayer dollar.
Serious money.
Excuse me?
On X, that an example of the
What kind of wild bullshit is that?
was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact-check this, apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. And that is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it. If it went to Mozambique instead of Gaza, I'm like, okay, that's not as bad, but still, why are we doing
No,
that?
I mean, yeah, why are we doing that still? That doesn't make any fucking
Elon
sense.
Musk talked about the maximum amount of people who can retire from the federal government in a month is 10,000, which...
Yeah, this place. Yeah, I've seen this place before, yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of, basically underground places like these that the government has.
Seems like a lot of people, but at the same time, doesn't seem like a lot of people, depending how you
Yeah,
look at it.
this is one of the
But he
facilities.
said it's because of the paperwork is done manually. Now
Yeah.
that is insane. Now the mine that he's talking about is the one that you see on the screen right now. I would play the video for you, but the music is copyrighted, and if I play it, I won't be able to put the video up. Iron Mountain is a 330 square foot data center, more than
Yes.
200 feet deep. It uses a 35-acre underground reservoir to create
Yeah, so
geothermal-
this is the big data center that actually uses like actual water cooling and from a reservoir.
cooling systems.
Yeah.
Now, here's a crazy wild thing about this. There's a report from 2021 that reveals how the government tried, and yet, of course, failed. We know what regime that was. To digitize the process, and they spent $106 million
This was Obama, I believe.
trying to do this and failed. So they
Yeah, so Obama tried to do it, but couldn't because their servers kept going down for some reason.
went back to the old process
So
of
they went back to the old
manual
way.
paperwork. You're going to tell me you're going to spend $106 million to digitize retirement paperwork and you can't do it? So you went back to the process that was established back in 1977? How insane is that? Doge
Yeah.
is really proving government inefficiency here.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense. Then why do you have this huge facility? What are you using it for then?
I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. Consider
Like, it
subscribing to the
doesn't
channel.
make any
Help it grow. I'll
fucking
catch you all
sense.
in the next one. You all have
You
a
better be
glorious day.
fucking
Take
doing your
care.
goddamn job, you fuckwits. The funny thing is, I would be kind of working in one of these data centers. Think about it, because most of what I've been studying is right doing this kind of shit. Programming languages, networking, data management, algorithm analysis, data structures. Yay! Computer science. What do we got? Amen praised Jesus. Amen praised Jesus. The thing about keeping the records on paper doesn't ensure that the information won't be wiped by an EMP or a computer failure. Or someone just taking a fucking bat and just smashing everything. I mean, you could probably well, actually, you might be able to rebuild some of the stuff even if you physically, right? But at a certain point, you won't be able to fucking fix it, and so yeah, best not to take a bat to it, or let everything catch on fire. It has drive-in access and a large archive storage facility. Ugh. But essentially, there's a lot of these places that house data centers for ISPs. All the underwater ground cables that go to each country and shit like that. Those have to go to these types of data centers, right? Okay. Thank you, base conservative. How to win a trade war. Let's check this out. Because the Dems, have said something finally. Get the caption on this just to make sure we see everything they say. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, it's already bad. It's that fucking cunt. Fuck this guy.
Good morning. The chaos and the corruption at the White House
Fucking Ted Lieu,
continues unabated.
jackass piece of shit. I hope you burn in hell, you fucking commie.
Elon Musk has illegal access to sensitive personal information.
You ain't my
taxpayers of
representative, you
America.
fuck.
He's setting his
I hope you burn in hell.
sights on cutting Social Security benefits for American seniors who have earned their benefits over a lifetime of work.
I bet this guy's been
So
getting
Tesla can
fucking
continue to pay
kickbacks too.
$0 in federal
From
taxes.
USAID and shit.
And now Donald Trump has directed him to launch a Republican war on students by dismantling the Department of Education.
He did not dismantle the Department of Education. He has not done that. He never said he was going to do that. All he said was he's going to look at the financial stability of the fucking education system. Because right now, everyone's fucking money's all fucked up right now.
I'm grateful to be
Because you guys fucked it real hard. Right? And you guys have fucked so much. Oh. You guys weren't even fucking doing trade deals with your goddamn allies. Like, what the fuck?
Hannah Hayes, a former teacher, former National Teacher of the Year, and Representative McDonald Rivet, former director of Michigan Head Start. President Trump and Elon Musk want to cut public education for our children and our neighborhood schools.
That's not what he
finance
did.
A $5 trillion tax giveaway to billionaires and wealthy corporations.
What?
By eliminating the Department of Education, Republicans are sending a clear message that they don't care about.
Where did that? Where did this? What is this guy
The
talking
American
about?
people did not vote for their neighborhood schools to be closed or class sizes to be larger. They did not vote
What are you
to
talking
cut
about?
special education. The Republican war on students won't lower the cost of eggs or groceries, but it will raise property taxes as the costs of Trump's education cuts will be forced onto parents.
Bro,
and
this
homeowners.
how is education tied to residential living? Like, what? It doesn't work like that, dude.
House Democrats believe that education is the key to unlocking the American dream.
If that was so true, then why do we have such a fucking education problem with our K through 12 students having bad test scores? And right, it seems to be they can't even read properly anymore. Like, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? They can't even read properly anymore. Just look at the fucking content creators that stream half the time. They're fucking dented sometimes. Like, Jesus. And they went to fucking, some of these people went to college too. University. It's like, Jesus, fuck, you went to,
Raising test scores.
you went to higher education and you fucked yourself? Holy
House
fuck,
Republicans
man.
won't stand up for our kids and end their war on students, then they
Ah,
should
damn.
ask for our votes to pass.
Might as well just get one of these and just fucking,
turn it over to
yeah, right? Because you're so fucking retarded.
Thank you, Chairman Aguilar. The Trump administration has engaged in a number of brazenly undemocratic and illegal actions.
Yeah, if this fucking place turned into a war zone, you guys would be fucking cooked so fast. Jesus.
55 lawsuits have been filed, and judges appointed
Asses
by
sprawled
Ronald
out,
Reagan,
fucking
George
getting
Bush,
pegged.
and Donald Trump himself have issued injunctions or temporary restraining orders against the administration's actions. For example, a judge issued a nationwide injunction against the Birthright Citizenship Executive Order, which attempted to overturn the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment right to birthright citizenship. A judge halted the attempted freeze of federal funding. A judge halted the attempted cuts to NIH that would have affected cancer research. A judge halted
I don't think that really happened, but okay.
Doge access
I'm actually doing some cancer research right now.
to your private Social Security numbers, and on and on.
What are you talking about? You guys already leaked our shit. Shut the fuck up. You guys already had your hands in it anyway. Bro, you are part of the fucking government. Your ass could pull my fucking information up if you really want. I gave you my information. I sent you a strongly worded fucking letter saying you're a fucking commie. You fucking commie.
At the same time, none of these actions by the Trump administration
Jesus.
were lowering costs.
Fuck you, Ted
My
Lieu.
wife and I recently went to a grocery store. We went to get some eggs, and we can see the prices of these eggs.
Oh, now you care about the fucking price of eggs. Oh, now you care about the fucking prices in the grocery store. I hope I fucking put a bullet in you one day, motherfucker. Goddamn commie bastard.
I had now jumped to about $8.
There's ever a civil war?
eggs.
Oh, I'm putting a bullet in every commie motherfucker there is in our goddamn fucking country. Oh boy.
And the American people are now seeing this. A recent poll showed that nearly half of the American people
Not only I'm gonna fucking put a bullet in them, I'm gonna fucking brutalize their goddamn brains all over the goddamn asphalt.
Focus on lowering costs, which they are ignoring right now.
Yeah, that curb stomping action. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure every fucking bone in their body gets curb stomped.
Member of Congress, as Chairman Aguilar had said, she was also National Teacher of the Year prior to coming in Congress.
Thank
oh,
you.
Great.
And thank you so much for being here. The Department of Education was created by an act of Congress and can only be dissolved by an act of Congress. This administration knows that. And I suspect, based on what we've seen, that this chaos and confusion, this flooding the zone...
When he said he was going to dismantle the fucking Department of Education, he was obviously being hyperbolic. All he was going to do was make Musk look into the books. That's all he was gonna do in actuality.
...down on the Department of Education. To try to convince the American people that we don't need...
Well, I mean, he probably wants to dismantle... Well, he wants to probably overhaul it. Overhauling is probably the better word, right? Because it's like, the education system's kind of cooked. Right? There's fucking... Some teachers are not getting paid well enough. Right? You got some teachers who shouldn't be teaching. I mean, you also have students who act a fool too, so that's a problem. Yeah, it's all bad. Right? Humans, right? Fucking humans.
...needed to strangle out funds meant to support public education and ultimately just turn off the lights. It's important to understand what it means by Republicans calling to end the Department of Education. The Department of Education does not handle curriculum, instruction, or instructional materials. Those decisions are already made locally by state and local boards of education. But what the Department of Education does handle is civil rights protections for all students. They handle support...
Yeah, I noticed when Trump made his announcements on the whole ICE thing and everything in the education, even some of the school teachers at my school are like talking about some of this shit.
Low-income students through their Title I funding. They develop and prepare educators through Title II funding and professional development. They provide resources for English language learners, collect statistics on enrollment, staffing, and crime in school. And the department is responsible for more than $1.6 trillion in federal student aid. 49 million students attend public school in this country, and all of the services provided by the Department of Education are at risk. Of those, 7.5 million students receive special education or related services under the Individuals with Disabilities in Education Act. IDEA makes a free and appropriate public education available to all eligible students. That means an occupational therapist.
Wait, did she just get like emotion?
Education available to all eligible students.
Oh yeah, she got emotional right there. Yeah, she got a little emotional right there. Hey, what's wrong?
Public education available to all eligible students. That means the occupational therapist that helps a student just to hold a pencil, because in their brain they have all the information. They just need to figure out a way to
What is she even talking about?
Articulate that is at risk.
I like how they're talking about like specific instances of things, but it's like Trump was never taking they think he's gonna dismantle everything and just put everyone out of work. Like, dude, what are you talking about, bitch? No, they're not.
And I think people need to understand that an IEP is a legal document. It is not an education, solely an education document. Ending federal funding or eliminating the department does not end our legal obligation to provide these services.
He never
to
said he was
kids.
ending federal
So
funds.
one of two things will happen. Either local communities will have to make hard choices.
I like how they keep putting words in his mouth that he didn't fucking say. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. I wonder why that's the case.
About what other resources they have to cut to meet their legal obligation to educate these children.
What do you mean? He's cutting. He's looking at everything. He literally made this point on his first on his campaign. Like, he made this a point.
Or their taxes will go up to support to replace the funding that the federal government is no longer sending.
What do you mean?
Now, I've
Lady
seen
is
the
off
news
for
force.
rockers.
I'm open to having any conversation to improve education and get better results for students.
Maybe if you didn't have COVID and then, like, shut everything down for, like, I don't know, like a couple months for, like, some of these people. I don't know, try and get them back into the fucking classroom like you should have. I don't know. A lot of kids got fucked because, they weren't able to tell, or they got distracted from doing any fucking actual work at school. Right, these kids weren't fucking learning during COVID.
But I think if we're looking at those scores,
they
we
were
have to
doing
be
fuck
honest.
all during COVID.
The numbers are brought down by red states who have failed to invest in education.
Red states who have failed to invest in education? That's not true. I'm pretty sure all politicians invest in education in some form or fashion. I know you're just trying to prove a point, but you suck at it. You suck.
Education over
You're dumb.
decades. But
You're
any
retarded.
real solution that we're talking about for improving educational outcomes for
If you really wanted to improve people's educational results, you would fix the fucking environment they're fucking working in. I don't know. I don't know. To be frank, education is not fun. It's a lot of fucking time, money, and learning. And sometimes learning isn't fun. Hard work, okay? It's like a job almost. And if you don't like that, well, you're gonna have a hard time.
for our students cannot be limited to funneling money to private voucher programs.
What? Weren't you guys doing that, though? She's basically just talking about themselves. She's literally talking about themselves, because you guys were the ones who were funneling fucking money somewhere. To fuck all. Fuck you. Fucking cunt.
Which only about 1 million students take advantage of. What about the other 48 million students? Any real solution has to include solving for the barriers that impede education.
What do you
The things
mean?
that cause
I'm pretty sure at my university, there's a lot of fucking people who are in programs who who probably know, who have ESL and shit and are okay, doing well. Right? It's like, what are you talking about? It's probably more for the K through 12, I would assume.
children to show up not ready to learn. Things like housing insecurity, things like empty bellies, things like a lack of health care.
I mean, we've already been having that issue for a while. This isn't, the whole housing issue, the lack of health care, the lack of having right? Food on the table, right? Making ends meet, right? This is not just this is not just educate. This is life, bitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You guys throw us in the fucking education system when we are young. You make our parents pay for your dumb bullshit when you guys don't even do it properly sometimes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Everyone has to get a fucking job to fucking make a living because our dumbass government likes to print so much fucking money. And then our dollars just fuck to all high hell. Right, that purchasing power, it's shit. It's complete shit.
No access to FMLA for their families.
Why do you
so that
think
their
people are investing in fucking other things? Because the purchasing power of the fucking dollar sucks penis.
parents can't stay home with them when they're sick? Birth to
It
three
just gets
initiative,
shit
free
all
and postnatal
over.
care, gun violence in schools. If you want to have
I mean, it gets shit all over because you can just fucking print it. Fucking unlimited in a sense. Just make more trees. Literally. I mean, we do have a gun... Yeah, the whole gun violence in schools nowadays, yeah, it is a strange increase. Right. But most of it is because, well... Where is it? I mean, I hate to say it, but... It entails a certain group of people. I don't know why. It just happens. I don't know why the pattern is there. But it's there. Don't at me. Okay? The pattern is there. I don't know why, okay? Alright? I don't know why. The pattern is there, though. Do I have another one? Spies who lie to us. You know, all these people. Oh, that's it. Yeah, couldn't find it. But yeah, those two. Don't know why. They're a part of the LGBT crew. I don't know why.
real conversation about educational outcomes.
I mean, you also have...
I'm here
I mean,
for
you
it.
obviously have some
But
gang-related stuff, too. Sometimes. I mean, it's not just those people, but... Yeah, you also have gang-related shit that happens. Because, I mean, look, some of these kids are getting into fucking gangs. I'm just gonna be 100% real. Some of these kids are getting into gangs. And they do get into some of the rough crowd sometimes. I know that I know for sure during my school time, there was definitely some people you should not affiliate with. Because a couple of them were shady fellows for sure. They literally hung out with some, let's just say, interesting characters, right? Interesting characters that would probably who have gotten caught up with the law already, or had karma at some point.
Free and postnatal care, gun violence in schools. If you want to have a real conversation about educational outcomes, let's do it. I'm here for it. But Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and the elites in this country don't need public schools. They don't have to send their children to public schools. They can afford to send their children somewhere else. I'm standing up for all the students who don't come from those kind of families.
See, your issue is you're appealing to a certain demographic of people. That's where you made your first mistake. Right? Education should be for everyone. Why are you barring people from education? That's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Why wouldn't you want to give people some knowledge?
For all the parents who can't afford
Why
to
wouldn't
make
you
those
want to give
choices.
people
For all
information
the
that can
teachers who
help
greet
help
those
them?
students
Like, what
and
the
try
fuck?
their best to give them the type of education that they see in other communities.
What are you talking about, lady? California is one of the richest states. Probably has one of the highest, probably has some of the top schools in the country too, right? Like, what are you talking about?
Because they deserve it.
Motherfucker, we have the goddamn Silicon Valley. We're goddamn tech central. We're business oriented. Like, what? Not only that, but you guys let in a bunch of fucking illegal weed growers sometimes. It's just, it's bad. You got cartel members and shit, gang members all up in this shit.
Maintaining the integrity of the department.
I mean, just look at what P. Diddy was doing. Right? Some of these guys that own fucking housing in Hollywood and fucking California, they ass motherfuckers.
Of education and fighting back against all of these cuts. Because this smash and grab tactics and attempts to rob the penny bank of America's children and their future.
What are you talking about? You guys fucked up their future during COVID already. You're lucky Trump is trying to fucking salvage what has already gotten fucked.
Not something that House Democrats are going to stand for.
Like, trying to
that,
unfuck what you guys
colleague,
fucked is going to be a fucking, like, ordeal. Like, this shit probably won't be fixed for, like, another, like, couple years. A year, right, at most. Maybe more. Shit is fucked
Thank you.
up.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
It's
and
like someone
thank you
threw
for
a
joining
wrench in, like, 20 different systems, and everyone's trying to fucking fix them.
us, and thank you to Congresswoman Hayes. Thank you to Chairman Aguilar and Vice Chair Liu for highlighting this urgent issue. So education, specifically early childhood education, holds a really special place in my heart.
No
First-
way are they going to talk about education the whole... They talked about education for 9 fucking minutes.
I parented 6 kids. Second, I have a daughter who's a special education teacher, particularly in the early years, but I started my career highlighting this urgent issue. So education, specifically early childhood education, holds a really special place in my heart. First, I parented 6 kids.
I don't care.
Second, I have a daughter who's a special education teacher,
I
particularly
don't
in
care.
the early years, but I started my career working in Head Start. I have seen
What the fuck is that?
firsthand the impact that early childhood education programs and special education programs play in the lives of children and families.
Okay.
I also served as
I don't
the chief
think
of
he's
staff at the
changing
State
any of those
Department of Education
programs.
in Michigan, and in the Michigan State Senate served on the K through 12 Appropriations Committee and the Education Policy Committee. So I've spent
He's
a little time
from
in
Michigan.
education.
Gross.
I can tell you that we do need to improve our education in this country. And we've seen things that work, things like decreasing class size, investing in new teachers, dramatic increase.
Well, I mean, you should be decreasing class size. Like, the teacher can't... Like, how can a teacher deal with, like, 30 fucking students? Like, one teacher. You're asking one teacher to deal with 30 fucking students. And probably half of those students are fucking, right? Or clowns, right? Class clowns. Or at least they won't be doing any fucking work or any, right?
In math.
Right, you... I hate to say it, right? You just have... With how much... There's a difference in parenting, ideology, how some of these people carry themselves, right? That's a tall fucking order for one person to deal with all that different psychology, right? Brain bullshit, right? You're asking a lot.
Reading programs and robust early childhood programs. These are the kinds of things that make our schools, our families, and our kids stronger. But eliminating the Department of Education would be disastrous for our kids. Special education classes would be gutted.
Education classes would be gutted.
Unserved communities, unable.
He never said he was... Okay, whatever. Let's just keep going.
To keep school doors
because they're
open.
just going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Right? He's trying to destroy education. He's trying to destroy the programs that people need most. It's like, bitch, calm the fuck down. He's just looking at the goddamn books.
Go back to a time where we ignore or leave behind our most vulnerable students. As Representative Hayes said, there are roughly 7.5 million students who benefit from the Department of Education's special education programs, including students with learning disabilities.
I'm guessing the learning disability programs, right? The special ed classes and stuff like that. And then the teachers that the teachers and the aides that deal with that stuff, right?
Developmental delays, speech and language.
And then the course, right? All the courses needed to deal with, right? The special needs kit, right? Right, materials and all that stuff.
Agencies and much more. If Mr. Musk gets his way, 15% of public school students in America will not receive the programming they need to reach their full potential, and every single classroom will be disrupted. So let me say that again.
What are you talking about, lady? You're off your rockers. Not what's happening.
Again,
You're just freaking out because Musk is taking a look at your books.
What's more, state and local governments do not have the resources in place to administer these programs. I know what public school budgets look like. They do not work without federal support. If Mr. Musk slashes it, localities will be forced to cut services to kids. And let me be clear, raise your taxes to close the gaps.
Bitch, you already raised our taxes during Biden.
Jobs and still
well, I mean,
inflation
already fucked us, right?
That's more costly, not more efficient. Elon Musk's plan to eliminate the Department of Education would devastate kids, schools, and communities in my district and across the country at a time that we simply cannot afford it. Thanks again for joining us. With that, I will turn things back to Chairman Aguilar.
Thanks, Kristen.
No one cared about your speech.
Kristen. Questions?
That was it? It was just fucking education for 12 and a half minutes of just education, and now they're taking questions? That's all they could do? Dude, Trump went after like 12, 14 different things, and all you got was education? Oh, you guys are cooked. Fuck. It was just educate at a... Out of all the fucking programs you could have talked about more programs, but all you did was talk about one program. One fucking program. Are you fucking kidding me? Why are you like this? Why is our country being run by nitwits? Just why? Why? I don't get it.
No House Democrat wants to shut down government. I want to be very clear with that. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. If they want to...
They're talking about the time when fucking Trump was all like, we're gonna shut down the government if they don't follow through.
Keep government open. They should keep government open. We are working with them. Chairwoman Rosa DeLauro will lead our
It actually brought out that question. Dude, that's such a
Dude,
that question was brought out like so long ago. I'm surprised they're bringing that shit back up.
Just like we have for many years through multiple Congresses. That is our plan. That has always been our plan. If Republicans need votes, they can come to us, and we are happy to negotiate.
I don't think they're going to be negotiating with you guys.
Last week, there's very little appetite to help Republicans when we don't trust that Donald Trump is going to spend the resources that we've allocated for education, for health care, or even, we don't know, for our defense. With Elon Musk and his unelected friends running through and combing through the federal system.
Are we really going to do this? Trump gave... You say unelected, but he probably gave him a job. That was the whole premise of why fucking Elon was there. The president gave Elon a job to do. He probably has a contract of some sort, right? He's obviously not a government employee. Well, I mean, he's just working as a contractor, right? In a sense, I would assume that's what's happening. Because, I mean, he's not an elected official, right? Correct? So all Trump did was employ people to do jobs. Which is, hey, that's a business, is it not?
System, we don't have those assurances. These are not advisory bills. This is not advisory spending levels. This has the full weight of law, as described by the Constitution. We are standing up for the Constitution and our Article I responsibilities, and occasionally there are Republicans who also stand up for Article I Constitution. But we're looking for partners who want to do that. That's where Republicans are. There is no deviation in the House Democratic Caucus as to where we stand and what our posture is. Annie?
There are so many things that Democrats are trying to respond to, from Trump's executive actions to Elon Musk's DOGE efforts. I know there's a new task force that Leader Jeffries announced yesterday. How is the caucus deciding what to respond to and
What is he writing down there?
Well, in any environment when there's so much chaos and confusion, you saw that from, the press conference right before us, right? Republicans in the House are fighting with Republicans in the Senate. Republicans in the House are fighting amongst themselves. All of this is before they even talk to us about what the plan is. They don't have a plan amongst each other. So, of course, that's going to make things a little more difficult.
I mean, you say that, but... You say that, but it seems like day by day, it seems like everyone's on board. Everything that's came out of the Trump corner, so to speak, everything they've done, doesn't seem like any of the Republicans are saying anything. It seems like everyone's on the same, right, on the same page to an extent. I'd assume they're also drafting up plans for a lot of these things too, as things go on, because right, they have a limited number of days and time. So, right, in the first 30 days, he wanted to do a lot of stuff, so he's probably trying to do as much as he can. He probably has a lot of people doing a lot of stuff.
Been incredibly clear where House Democrats are.
So it's like, you guys are slow. I don't think they realize that Trump is going, like, he's going balls to the wall. Like, he probably has like 4 or 5, right, 6 different teams doing like different shit, all right, attacking on all fronts. These guys are. I think Trump has actually calculated this and wants to attack at a lot of different points.
Constitution, as I said, but we're going.
This is where This is where the Democrats are probably going to be lacking. Right, because they can only tackle one thing at a time.
We're going to push back in Congress, and we're going to push back in our communities.
But we'll see.
That's where this is. That is our focus. We understand that that people have strong feelings about this.
You guys understand? Oh, really?
We are focused on delivering results and protecting our institutions and making life better for our communities. That's what our focus is. And as the vice chair mentioned, poll out this weekend, 66% of people don't feel that Donald Trump is doing enough to lower their costs. We are speaking to those folks. We are speaking to the gas prices, the grocery prices, the rent, and the unaffordability crisis. That
this wasn't on. I like how they're all like, "Oh yeah, no, it's Trump's problem." That all these. No. It was Biden's fault that this all shit happened. And then when Trump gets into office, you're all like, "Oh yeah, now it's Trump's fault that the prices of eggs are so high." You fucks. I mean, he is changing a lot of shit, so he may have indirectly made caused a lot of stuff, but at the same time, a lot of stuff needs to be moved around because you guys fucked up.
A lot of these actions are so brazenly illegal. Courts are striking them down.
And what you guys didn't do was brazenly illegal? Like what?
Okay.
Shut up, Ted Lieu.
George Bush,
fucking commie.
Donald Trump himself. And so you have a judicial branch that is simply applying the law and halting these actions. And then there's a legislative strategy that Leader Jeffries has set out, as well as a mobilization strategy. So House Democrats are engaging at all 3 of those strategies.
Can you give more specifics on that legislative and outreach strategy that you just mentioned?
So Leader Jeffries set out an initial 10-point plan, a Dear Colleague letter, and you've got some deadlines coming up. You've got a March 14th funding deadline. There's appropriations.
That's on fucking Valentine's Day. I hate that day.
Which hopefully the Republicans will start talking to Democrats and we can keep this government funded. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I would say just briefly on the legislative piece. I mean, they haven't.
What is
been able to do
That's
much.
this week, isn't it?
It's not like we.
Oh yeah, shit, it is.
With a dozen bills here every week.
Yeah, it's
One
Friday.
or 2 bills that they already passed the rules for are coming before us. There's very little activity here, so it's a question for our colleagues on the other side of the aisle as to legislative efforts. Michael.
I wanted to follow up with Vice Chair on the judicial opinions that he mentioned. I'm curious to know if House Democrats are confident that the Trump administration will comply with these orders that are coming from judges. There have been some tweets, there have been some comments that have come from President Trump himself that suggest that they feel as though they don't have to follow orders that they don't like from judges, no matter who appoints them. So I'm curious how you all are looking at this. Are you all planning for the worst case scenario of the Trump administration to find some of these orders, or do you believe that the judicial system will hold up against some of this defiance?
We understand very clearly what's in front of us, but this is very consistent.
Oh, you guys really do understand what's in front of you, huh? Because if that was true, you wouldn't misrepresent what fucking Trump said half of the time. Oh, you guys are so fucking bad.
Is no longer a party of limited government and spending less resources and local control. The Republican Party stands for we trust the answer if it agrees, if it is decided in our favor.
See, I wish I knew what the question was asked, because I don't like his answer. Doesn't really say anything. Doesn't really... I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say, and I don't know what the answer is, or the question it was.
We saw this with the elections. We continue to see it. Donald Trump still could not say that the 2020 election was fair this weekend in an interview.
He keeps calling it a...
They trust the election results when they win. They trust the court decision when they win. When they do not win...
I mean, Trump has always been fucking outspoken about things, right? Regardless if he felt like he won or lost, right? Because he's gonna be pouty about it, even if he loses.
They want to burn it all down.
Wait, didn't Biden do that though before he left office? He was trying to literally burn everything down. Didn't Biden put like a stop to like a bunch of oil, or not oil, but a lot of oil and petroleum stuff, production and stuff, because of the contracts. It was like 800 something contracts or some shit. Put a pause on them.
The consistent theme of where the Republican Party is right now. So it's incredibly...
And then Biden fucking pardoned a lot of his family members and a lot of shady characters, right? It's like, oh, man. This is weird. Yeah, it's really hard to fucking believe what's coming out of your fucking mouth. Because it just sounds like shit.
But that's where we are, and we understand very clearly the moment that we're in and the danger that they...
Oh, you understand clearly the moment you're in. Just sit back and fucking take it, you fucking dumbasses.
Ahead with respect to...
You guys had your chance for fucking 4 years. You guys did nothing.
Honoring what the courts have decided. I'll yield to the vice chair who's on the important committee here.
Oh, you guys made another committee. I wonder what kind of fucking unlegislated bullshit you guys are making up now.
Every president, including Donald Trump in his first term, complied with court orders. If this administration is going to start ignoring court orders, they're essentially eliminating entire...
I mean, what? Okay, you send Trump a court order, right? And he's just gonna come in and tell you, hey, I have some interesting information because you guys are doing some shady fucking shit. What are you gonna do then? Do you really want that to fucking come out into public if he actually has something in his hands that you guys don't want to be sure? Right? It would look bad for you, you know that, right? You know that what Elon Musk is looking at a bunch of information. He has his team looking at a lot of information, right? And if a judge were to see all that stuff, that would be really bad.
Higher judicial branch, because why even have
that
judges
not?
if you have to follow their court
Why
orders?
would you want
We
that?
expect this administration to follow the court orders, and I do note that there was a recent case where
because you know that if you court order Trump, he's just gonna he's just gonna be transparent and be like, yo, you guys fucked up, here it is. And then now that's out in public and everybody's gonna read that shit, and then everyone's gonna fucking flame the fuck out of you guys.
judge had said, hey, look, I issued an injunction on the funding freeze. It appears that you're not following it. What the administration came in and said is that while you issued on this one executive order, but not this other one, the administration did not say, we don't think you have the authority to do any of this. That's not what the administration said. And then what J.D. Vance said was just clearly insane. If he really wants to eliminate the third branch of government, I think there's going to be enormous pushback
I
from
mean,
both Republicans and Democrats.
I mean, they technically did eliminate like a third of the government, right? Government. They just eliminated it through like a bunch of employees that didn't fucking do anything. I mean, just look at some of our House representatives. It's a fucking senile old home for the elderly to fucking be Alzheimer'd out and fucking reap the benefits of the goddamn taxpayer. And fuck over the taxpayer. As they sit there getting fucked up. Look at Mitch McConnell. Motherfucker tripped twice. Broke his... sprained his arm or something. He's in a wheelchair now. Look at Nancy Pelosi. Fucking hip replacement. Mitch is old as fuck now. Oh shit. And these people are falling apart. Soon enough, you guys are gonna fucking fall apart. Ugh, fucking dumbasses.
Great. Bring it in committee. Let the education committee debate it. Bring it to the floor. If they have the votes to pass some of these things, then we'll see. If they have the votes to cut dramatically public education funding, then we'll see. If Republicans want to genuinely debate costs, we're willing to have those discussions. But right now we see an unwillingness, as you saw from the press conference before us. They don't know.
Unwillingness? Bro, their investigation is still going on. The fuck are you talking about? Why the fuck would they talk to you right now when they're still investigating? Get the fuck out of here.
Plan. They don't have any idea when this is going to come up. So we're going to continue to focus our energy on highlighting what it is they're seeking to do here. And while we're home next week in our districts, we're going to continue to talk about Department of Education cuts. We're going to talk about cuts in our communities, cuts to health care that are clearly in the future. Those are the things that we will highlight to the American public and make our case to the American public that they did not elect Elon Musk to engage in taking the privacy protections away from folks, and that their focus and agenda here is to pass $5 trillion of tax cuts to billionaires and corporations at the expense of public education and health care in our communities.
I'd like to I just want to say there's a reason why they're trying to do this the way that they're doing it and not include Congress. It's because they don't want that oversight. They don't want us to have committee hearings and be able to ask the questions.
Congress is a law-making right? All they do is bills and stuff. You have nothing to do with looking into information. Like, what are you fucking on? You power-hungry trippin' bitch. Get the fuck out. Like, this is not your job, whore. Like, what are you on? Go take your fucking meds and get the fuck out. Jesus.
Because similar to the bill that Mr. Massey introduced, I introduced a bill to protect public education. And I think
they're not looking at bills and policy. Are you guys fucking retarded? They're looking at receipts. They're not looking at bills or policies. Well, I mean, they might be looking at bills and policies to fucking butt fuck you with. Because they got lawyers looking at this shit, but other than that, they're not. They're just looking at receipts. Like, what are you on, lady?
What we have to do as Democrats, like I said before, is help the American public to understand what that means. People might say we need...
I'm sorry, you're not helping me, that's for sure. Because you're feeding me bullshit information. I'd rather fucking have your head on a goddamn platter. Fucking whore.
To reduce the size of government and save
Fuck
money.
you.
They're not talking about saving money to put it back in the pockets of the American people. And I think as
You want to
parents
steal
begin
my
to
money? Come get
understand,
it.
wait a minute,
You better
that
come to my
means
fucking
that
front doorstep to
my child won't
fucking
get the
tell me that you
services
want to
that they
steal my
need,
money.
or the school around the corner is going to shut down, or we can no longer have before or after school programs. We have to start communicating with people, not about bills and titles, but this is what this means for you and your family.
Your bill and title is whore, and you should get the fuck out of government. Because you fucking suck at it.
And I expect that as people begin to better...
You probably sucked your way to the top. Just like what Joy Taylor or whatever her dumb bitch-ass name is. Fucking... How many of these people probably sucked their way to the fucking top?
Appreciate that. There will be a
I
public
mean, Hollywood
outcry,
is good at
and as
that.
we've seen with just about all of the executive orders that this administration has rolled out,
Doing
when public
fucking
sentiment
shady
pushes
shit.
back, they back
Bunch
down.
of goddamn
They
criminals.
recoil. They backtrack their steps. They clarify what they meant. And I think this is going to be a time when the American people, not just the members of Congress or the media, the American people are going to say, we will not disinvest in public education.
No one's... Oh my god, whatever.
We will not take away opportunity for so many children. We will not eliminate Pell Grants and all of the programs that help for people from...
What are you... Wait, you're saying they're gonna get rid of FAFSA now? What? Well, where are you going, lady? Like, they're just trying to throw shit at the wall and hope that people will, like, be on their fucking side. Like, oh my god. I hate this. I hate this bitch. They're all fucking liars.
Low-income communities
Well, I mean, they're not... Well, they're bullshitting. Eh.
to go to college.
Well, they're lying and bullshitting, but yeah.
And then go back to those communities and help out. That create a workforce that's ready for an emerging economy. I think as the American people
What are you on, lady?
will begin to understand, oh, wait a minute, I didn't realize that's what this meant. And that's across all the departments. I think that there's going to be public outcry and pushback, and that's why they don't want to do this.
She doesn't even know what the fuck is happening because she doesn't have her fucking... She doesn't have her hands on the pulse. Right? Right, these guys are so in the dark right now because Trump has been making so many moves that they don't even know what the fuck is happening. That's why they're so fucking scared. Because they know that if these receipts were to come out that they've been right, they've been doing some shady shit, oh man. Oh boy. What do you want, little pooper?
Through the regular order and congressional processes with oversight, where we're asking the questions and they're forced to answer them. That's why they don't want to bring Elon Musk before Congress.
What do you mean? If you really wanted to ask him questions, then ask him questions. Like, what are you talking? Subpoena him. I mean, if you guys really want to fucking find out, then subpoena him.
If you are so confident in what you're doing, and
I mean, you guys have that power as the House, right? Or Congress. Oh well, actually, they're trying to rally people to do right. Probably have enough votes to do that. But it's like I don't think they're gonna.
believe you have the support of the American people.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean,
spell
what?
that out.
Okay, what are you gonna do when you fucking subpoena him to ask for information? What then? He gives you all the information, and then what are you gonna do then? Say that he has hands in the Federal Reserve? Like, what are you fucking... what?
Which they're not willing to do.
Maeve, then Eric.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about the litigation working group that you announced yesterday. The litigation is at the forefront of Democrats' strategy, clearly, and you touched on this a little bit, but I was wondering if you could outline any changes between Democrats' legal strategy during Trump's first administration and his second administration.
Something about strategy?
I'll yield to the to the vice chair with his judiciary background. Leader Jeffries announced this yesterday morning to the caucus, and he announced that Joe Neguse would be playing a role with this. This is, again, a collection between Jamie Raskin and the Judiciary Committee, Jerry Connolly and the Oversight Committee, and Rosa DeLauro. This was meant to serve as kind of the hub of
rats and
Democratic
snakes.
ideas and input. And then we will communicate that out using the DPCC to get a message to our members. But there's a lot of incoming and a lot of ideas from members, and this was meant as a way to kind of channel those efforts. Now, separate and apart from that, each committee will be engaged and will be forcefully, as you saw, Jerry Connolly, and as you've heard Jamie Raskin, forcefully pushing back on these ideas within committee. But the working group will play a part in how we communicate that broadly and how we handle the collection of ideas and input from our members. Ted's going to answer about
Chairman Aguilar is absolutely right. And one of the reasons for this is because there's so much stuff happening. The American people and even members of Congress may not know about all these different lawsuits and what's happening in those lawsuits. It turns out the administration is losing most of those lawsuits because what they're doing is just brazenly illegal. And so this working group will provide that information and let the members know so that we can
brazenly illegal, even though they're just looking at receipts. Yeah. Oh, I think he's talking about the birthright citizenship and trying to fire a bunch of employees, right?
I don't.
I think he's talking about that one dumb judge that tried to.
Justice is responsible to ensure that our laws are followed, and usually in normal times, each of these jurisdictions will be allowed to carry on their work. We saw that in the Biden administration, and we see that Donald Trump and his friends, do things differently, and that's unfortunate because the rule of law needs to be upheld. Whether you're red team or blue team, it doesn't matter.
Fuck the blue team. Blue team can burn in hell.
To do that.
You guys are a bunch of corrupt fuckheads. Just look at you.
But I know that other members of the New York delegation might have.
You guys are so scared about fucking receipts.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace last night took to the floor and took an hour-and-a-half floor time to basically air out allegations of rape and sexual abuse.
That's not true. Then why is our USAID money going to fuck all?
I spoke to a number of Democratic colleagues who
My TO isn't afraid of receipts. Are you sure about that? Does he want to get deported?
Very serious allegations that she's made.
You better make sure those receipts are correct.
Between, her and her constituents, on the timing. I just read a report. I have not seen any of the over hour-long discussion on her floor speech. Very serious allegations, and I would hope that law enforcement will take a look if there is something there. But I'm not minimizing the importance of what she said or the allegations that she's made or the protected manner in which she's doing it from the House floor.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. You've been very clear. There has not been substantial outreach yet on keeping the government open from the other side, and you say Republicans know how to get votes from y'all if they need to. I'm just wondering what your expectation is as we get closer to March. Do you expect, if they do come together on a more concrete, detailed framework for a spending bill, that they will bring you in, or what is your expectation as we get closer to that deadline?
Our expectation is that we are treated as equal partners when the four corners meet and discuss, and that's Rosa DeLauro on our side and Tom Cole on the Republican side with their Senate counterparts. We're partners because every spending plan that we have done under the Trump era, under the Biden era, has been done so with that in mind. In fact, we had a deal. We have an existing deal that guides our spending levels for this year. So that's what's a little surprising and shocking, that Republicans still don't want to arrive at a top line number when it is spelled out in law.
What are
Our
you
expectation
talking
is that
about?
as we get closer to March 14th,
Can you point it out and where this law is? No, you can't because you're just fucking spouting bullshit.
we would hope that their outreach becomes more real and that their discussions with us become more substantive about what is necessary to fund government and our expectations that those numbers are followed, that government is funded. Again, as I said, these are not advisory thoughts and ideas.
What a
We
fucking
genuinely believe
weasel.
that when we make a deal, just like we did in December, that deal is honored. And when we make a deal and it is voted into law, that becomes the law of the land and that those spending levels are honored. Anything absent that is a violation of law, according to the Impound Control Act. So
yeah, if it was
that
the
is our
law of the land, it would be you being in a
leadership is and
fucking
the dysfunction
internment
that we
camp
see and the
or
chaos that we
being a
see on their
cunt.
side, none of us are making plans for March 15th. That's for sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they didn't even talk about anything. All they talked about was fucking education and how Trump was going to gut education somehow. Like, what the fuck? Motherfuckers just looking at receipts. What are you even on? Yeah, then they talked about the grocery price, like it's right. All the increase in prices of the grocery stuff is fucking Trump's fault. It's like, bitch, that shit was in Biden's. Biden carried that over into Trump's term, you fuckwits. Like, what? All of this shit is still Biden's fault. Trump still has to fix the bullshit that fucking Biden caused. Like, you know that this is all Biden's fault. Stop fucking lying. Not true? What the fuck are you talking about? My Tio worked in the field? Huh. Well, your Tio's gonna get fucking deported real fucking soon. I hope Elon sues you. I hope Elon fucking guts these people. Dude, if I had my way, oh my god. These people would be fucking taxidermy dolls. Eighth graders are not proficient in math or reading in this country. DEPTA needs to go. It's a slush fund. That's true. I got a person in my chat who has probably not even passed 5th grade math and reading and education. I'm sorry. Let's let this guy try to tell us he had to worry about paying at the grocery store. Yeah, no, the fucking one of the highest paying jobs, and you're talking about grocery store bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm past 5th. No one asked you. Not 6th, though, Jesus. You don't say that. That doesn't help you. What's wrong with you?
Global trade has made the USA incredibly rich.
How to win a trade war. Trade war! Trade war!
Global trade has
Trade
made the
war!
USA incredibly rich. But what is good for America isn't always good for Americans. Globalization
True.
has let big businesses pull revenue from global markets.
True.
It's giving consumers cheap products subsidized by poverty wages.
Well, I mean,
and
because
investors
everything's made
access
from
to foreign
China.
capital from around the world. The best part is, all we had to give up in return was stable, productive jobs that previously defined the American
True.
middle class.
Yeah,
For
it
some
all went
reason, some
overseas,
people
and
have
then
decided this
right, we
wasn't
don't
actually a very
produce
good
anything
deal,
anymore.
and that workers need a way to regain some of the power they once had. It is genuinely a very reasonable idea that has united people on both sides of the political aisle, which is why it's kind of a shame that we are doing it
Yep.
in the stupidest way possible.
Correct.
Be announcing the tariffs on Canada and Mexico for a number of reasons. Number one is the people that have poured into our country so horribly and so much. Number two are the drugs, fentanyl, and everything else that have come into the country. And number three are the massive subsidies that we're giving to Canada. And
Man, you just got a zombie on the fucking street blocking up traffic. Oh no. Oh, Jesus.
Deficits.
Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
Late last week, President Donald Trump formally announced plans to place broad 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada and increase tariffs on China by an additional 10%.
Correct.
Despite being...
Only that. But I think Trudeau is fucking his citizens even more by taxing them more. I don't know how that works. Oh, shit.
One of the central focuses of his campaign, this somehow still came as a shock, because most people really were not expecting such a large change to be enacted so quickly. Just 2 days later, though, an agreement was met with both Canada and Mexico to delay these tariffs in exchange
by 30
for additional
days.
border security assistance. This might seem a bit weird to you, because trade policy and border security are normally two separate issues.
Yes.
But according to the initial White House press release announcing these tariffs, they were actually primarily just a negotiating tactic to get Canada and Mexico to cooperate on these issues. So if military personnel forming on our border is all we wanted, it's mission accomplished. Now, no matter what side of the aisle you fall on,
Yeah, I mean, even if
these
it,
tariffs weren't
even if it
explicitly
was,
meant to protect
right, even if
American
it's just a
jobs,
small
it
thing
has
like
started
that.
discussions about who
fine.
really wins from fighting a trade war. If you have been paying
Right, the
any
issue is
attention
to
this
stop
whole circus,
any
you
sort of,
probably have been told a
right,
dozen times
flow,
that tariffs
at
are just a
least.
tax paid by local businesses on imported goods, which will normally just get passed directly along to the consumer. That means they are really just another invisible tax on average American consumers, and therefore this whole thing is just a bit dumb. Now, that's not wrong. It's true that if these tariffs, or some other version of them, do eventually go into full effect, you are going to pay more for most products. And therefore this whole thing can just be dismissed as the orange man being reckless with the global economy. But, hot take alert, there actually is more to this discussion. Even if they don't realize it, anything that both Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump can agree on is probably worth looking into a bit more deeply. And if they can resolve three big problems, it could be a step in the right direction for most working
I mean, the
Americans.
issue with Bernie Sanders is the motherfucker is like on the same page with like Elizabeth Warren and some of the Democrats. The dude's like a commie, right? He does not want to work with Trump, even though some of the points they make are aligning sometimes. I don't know what the fuck is up with Bernie Sanders. Fucking senile old bat.
Reasons. The first big problem is putting the genie back in the bottle. America's biggest source of imports is now Mexico. A combination of tariffs on China and the investments into production facilities down south has just given them the lead, and they are highly dependent on it. According to the global data firm CEPPII and visuals from the Organization of Economic Complexity, we make up 76% of Mexico's exports, which are
Oh
now
yeah,
mostly
that.
cars,
I mean, we're
car
right.
parts, and
We're the
basic
neighbors,
electronics.
obviously.
According to Glassdoor, Ford Motor Company employees in Mexico City are earning between the equivalent of $10,000 for basic line
Hey,
work.
why don't you go back to Mexico, man? Look at all these jobs, brother. You make more money as an
Nice plant
as a
in America to
Mexican,
compete
man.
with that. Now, labor costs are only a small part of the total cost of assembling a car. You also have to add the
I'm not
cost of
too sure.
materials and components, the shipping costs, and the amortized expenses of
I mean,
researching,
pesos is
designing, and tooling for a
still
particular
fucking
model.
fuck all. It's broken.
So this means even small tariffs could make it cheaper to make big items like cars here in America, which would give American workers more negotiating power over pay and benefits. But it needs more time, or else it's just going to hurt everybody. A lot of our imports from Mexico are components that our workers need to do their jobs. A wiring harness is a bunch of cables that connect all the electronic features in your car together. They are an integral part of assembling modern automobiles, and American factories import almost all of them from Mexico. Without this component, local manufacturers can't make cars. So they are just going to accept the tariff and pass the additional costs along to consumers without
Or Or you can start producing it in America, like Trump has said. Right, the whole idea was to make people come back to America and start making production facilities here in America. Because I mean, we do produce a small amounts of these things, but we just don't produce enough on a large scale to give enough to these companies and whatnot for their for the stuff they need for their tech and devices and cars and shit. Right, you need more supply in a country that doesn't produce a lot, so you have to fucking buy it elsewhere.
Actually making any additional jobs. This can also...
So in a sense, it's probably hurting us more that we have to buy, outsource it. Because they're probably cheating us on that fucking... on all that stuff, when we can just probably produce it and make our own money.
Other cars which are not made in America raise their own prices because their competitors will be forced to do the same thing. The thing is, America can make these wiring harnesses here at home, and doing so will create good union jobs for lots of people.
Oh, okay, so he does talk about it. He does talk about bringing it back home.
Build a new factory in 30 days. It takes time. Now, this is just one example of one product, but similar problems are playing out in every important dependent business across the country right now.
Yeah.
Big immediate changes like this don't really help anybody. Now, that's just the first reason, and it's only a small part in the bigger problem that workers, businesses, investors, and trade partners just don't know what the f is coming next.
Yep.
So it's time to learn how money works.
I mean, you can't predict the future, man. We still live in the present. I mean, we can make we can make graphs and projections and shit, but it's all based on estimations. And sometimes those estimations don't work out because a crazy event happens, right? Or something very bad happens. I don't know. Maybe people just stop buying the product, right? Whatever the case is, right? You got to pivot and make a change at any point in time.
Works to see who is going to win history's dumbest trade war.
Trade
This week's video
wars.
is sponsored by
Trade
Brilliant.
wars.
Brilliant is an interactive learning platform designed to help you truly understand complex topics in math, data science, programming, and even AI. Instead of passive learning, Brilliant's lessons are all about getting hands-on and solving real problems, making learning 6 times more effective than just watching videos. Each course is built by experts from top institutions
I wish
like
I could
MIT
do
and
this,
Google,
but
so
it's
you
not.
know you're learning from the best. Their data science courses, for instance, use real-world datasets from platforms like Airbnb
I still
and
don't
Spotify,
even know what the fuck I'm
giving you
trying to do with my
practical insights
project.
while you learn.
I'm so confused at where I
recently
have to
took
start.
Brilliant's creative coding course, and it's been a game changer for building problem-solving skills. It's super interactive, and each lesson builds directly on the last, so you feel your progress as you go. Brilliant's also perfect for fitting learning into your day, whether you're on your computer or just have a few minutes with your phone. Try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/howmoneyworks. And if you like it, you'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. The idea of winning a trade war really comes down to who is actually going to win. Globalization is an unbelievably complicated issue with thousands of different variables that have all made the world what it is today. The dominance of the US dollar, cultural exchange, digital connectivity, and the end of the Cold War, cross-border intellectual property rights, foreign aid, debt markets, and big international organizations have all shaped our lives. But it's a lot easier to focus on the much more tangible action of global trade, because we can physically see junk get loaded into shipping containers and sailed into our ports. Without accounting for these other variables though, even the most well-thought-out tariffs in history aren't going to do very much to reverse the winners and losers of globalization. So who are they exactly? Several major economies have been able to develop extremely quickly by focusing on producing exports for the global market, the biggest consumer in that market by far being America. Large multinational companies have also benefited from being able to produce their products more cheaply and sell them in multiple markets across the world. And wealthy asset owners have also won because they got to finance this industrial boom, move their capital freely around the world, and benefit from foreign investors pumping up their existing asset markets. The losers have largely been the groups that weren't as globally mobile.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of capitalizing on new global markets, they had to compete with them. smaller local businesses, and of course, above
Oh,
all
yeah,
else,
yeah.
unskilled or
Yeah, in
semi-skilled
Louisiana, the
workers.
French
You
Quarter. Yeah, yeah,
probably
some of
already have
these some of these areas and businesses are going down because they can't keep up. And people are like start with the whole e-commerce and shit. A lot of people are buying online and whatnot now.
An idea of the people that have been left behind by globalization.
Right, the
Small
mom
town
and pop
communities in the
shops
Rust Belt that
are
don't have as
slowly
many job
dying
opportunities, as
because
major employers
they
went
don't get
out
a
of
lot of
business
people
or
going
moved
into those
jobs
stores
elsewhere.
anymore.
Now, I am going to implement a zero tolerance to Zoomer comments policy. But as someone who grew up in and went to college in Ohio, the expectation was that anybody that completed their degree could immediately move out of the state to one of the big cities that had become part of the global economy rather than just the American economy. Now, obviously, I am now just a worthless influencer, so no major loss there. But by losing other educated young workers, these local areas are falling even further behind. And the big global cities that people need to move to aren't exactly winning out of this either.
Yeah.
And if they
I mean,
remain
they're
the
all
only places where
expensive,
young workers
right?
from across America and the rest of the world
Especially
can get
California,
ahead, then it's
one of the
going to be
most
incredibly
expensive
hard to
states
fix
in the
it.
fucking
The
country.
reason why a finance bro in New York or a tech worker in California can be paid enough to compensate for these spiraling costs is that they are providing a service that can be leveraged across the global market, whereas a factory worker is producing goods that are competing with the global market. So if we reverse course on this whole free trade business, it should reverse course on the winners and losers, right? Well, no. The strangest group of winners and losers has been the American consumer. One of the reasons why we can get away with being so reckless on trade is that everybody wants what America has, and what America
True.
has is consumers.
Consumers,
There are a lot
people-
of us.
people
Even our
to
basic
pay
jobs
for
pay well
products.
compared to other countries, and we love to buy shit. It
No.
might not feel like it, but
It's
a lot
true.
of the products you buy are a lot cheaper than they used to be.
Mhm.
Easy to transport appliances like fridges, TVs, personal electronics, and computers have all become significantly cheaper over time. Part of this can be explained by advances in technology, but a lot of this is down to big global supply chains that have
yeah.
been hyper-optimized to get consumer junk to your doorstep as cheaply and conveniently as possible. The most extreme incarnation of this process has been online retailers like Wish, Shein, and Temu that directly ship consumer junk that almost seems too cheap to be possible. Because
Well, I mean, you get fucking right. Some of those products are not quality right? some of it is scam.
a lot of the time, it is. The way that these companies have been able to effectively get these goods into the American market is by taking advantage of a small loophole in our trade policy.
Yeah.
The de minimis value exemption lets shipments into the U.S. avoid duties, taxes, and tariffs as long as they are worth less than $800. The
Yep.
intention of the law was to let people mail stuff to friends and family without having to deal with the paperwork and expenses of tariffs typically paid by international businesses. But good intentions didn't stop these companies from building their businesses around taking advantage of this simple carve-out. Normally, imports from big manufacturing nations like China are all shipped together as one big order that is then
Yep.
moved to a warehouse and distributed here by
Correct.
American retailers. But by shipping everything one by one, these companies can get their orders under the $800 limit and avoid paying the taxes they really should be.
Yep.
It's much, much less cost-effective to ship things like this, but the savings on import duties more than make up for it. According to US Customs, they process over 4 million of these packages every single day, with more than half of them originating from China. So it's safe to say this exemption
China.
has not really been
China,
used as
China,
intended.
China.
If you don't value your time at all, go to Temu and try to find a product worth more than $800. You probably won't be able to do it, because their business model falls apart if they have to
Correct.
properly compete with retailers like Amazon. Now, this whole game could be considered a win for consumers. If you consider a 2-pack of Bluetooth
Yeah, so
speakers
if you were to look at like other countries like like local businesses and like how they operate their retail stores, interesting too.
the shape of an astronaut for $20 a win. But most consumers can only consume because they are also workers. And for most people, little consumer wins like this are not worth the worker losses they come with. You probably didn't hear as much about it, but in between everything else that was going on, this exemption was also stopped. And a lot of small businesses lost their f***ing mind.
Yep.
This was a blow to the Chinese retailers whose whole business model doesn't really work without this loophole, and dropshippers who couldn't get their products in the same way. But for the average American worker, this is a good thing. If slowing down 1 million packages of consumer junk every day is the price we need to pay for more jobs in America, then it's absolutely worth it. The only question is, Will it? American companies like Walmart and Amazon will benefit if this rule is upheld. And yeah,
How are you doing
they are
today?
far from perfect,
Exhausted.
but they do at least
from a
employ
lot of
more
work.
local workers than Temu.
I
Long
gotta
term,
do more
moving
work.
in the direction of fair trade rather than totally free trade means we can regain local
what's
jobs and
the-
capabilities. But it will be a long-term process. One of the
Tuesday?
most important details
gotta
that
do
people
more work
overlook when
later.
arguing
Oh,
for
that's
or
great.
against trade protections is that most people these days don't actually work in jobs making stuff. Most of our economy is in the service sector, and thanks to communication technologies, things like entry-level administration, customer service, and IT have been outsourced just as fast as the
Yeah.
people who make stuff that can be physically shipped
Yeah, a
across
lot
the
of that
world.
stuff is outsourced.
If our definition of winning is
I mean, you
getting
still
American
have it
jobs
in the
back, there
United
are more
States,
effective
but
strategies.
yeah, a lot of it's outsourced.
As I was writing this, the US
Did I play
Postal
any
Service started
games? No.
processing de minimis packages again.
I've just been
And by the
looking
time
at
you are watching
news.
this, that could have changed, or there could be totally new policies. And that's the final and most serious problem. To win any war, there needs to be a coherent strategy. Businesses right now don't know what is going to happen next, which is making it really hard to react accordingly.
Well,
If
I
it's
mean,
made
because
clear which industries are going to be targeted
Trump
for
is
onshoring and
Trump
those
is doing a
industries
lot
can
of
provide
shit
good
so
jobs,
quick
then
in
businesses
30
will either
days.
supply them or someone else will.
He's
Blanket
just
rules
rapid
that change
firing
day by
fucking
day means
executive
everybody
orders.
is just going to sit back and wait, which means hiring and investment freezes, which doesn't really
And then
help anybody.
it's gonna take some
Now, the
time to
bonus problem with
do
this
all this stuff too, right? Right. People want things to move way too quick. It's like you can't. It's not possible. There's a limited fucking time in the day. How's it going? Didn't sleep yet? Again, you were watching fucking Trump. It's not even about Trump, but it's about the trade stuff. Because people are freaking out about their products and their art and their
whole situation
fucking
is that we have
stupid
become incredibly
technology.
dependent on just a tiny handful of companies, and no matter which way we have to go from here, they have a plan to
And
make
everyone's
sure they win,
freaking
even
the
if
fuck
everybody
out.
else loses. Go and watch this video on how we let that happen, and make sure to subscribe to keep on learning how money works.
Really? Well, I mean, he's got the tariffs, the 25% tariffs on everything. It's, everyone's still freaking out about that shit. Let's do a funny. Drake after the Super Bowl halftime show. Drake's
Drake.
PR team. Oh.
Drake, you have to kill this nigga. You have to murder
Did I watch yesterday's statement of Trump? Yeah, I did a stream on it yesterday.
DJ Mustard.
It's on my it's on the
and
YouTube.
Samuel Jackson today to come back from all of this.
It's
If
to-
you kill that nigga this week before Thursday, you have a chance. A pretty great one. Okay, you can
Gee.
be the nigga you pretend to be in your music.
What is up with fucking rappers trying to fucking gun each other down?
If you do this, okay, you have
You got
nothing to
you got
lose.
P
You already
Diddy
lost.
having beef with fucking Biggie Smalls and fucking goddamn Tupac. Now you got this shit.
everything.
I mean,
Drake, understand. Kendrick Lamar performed a diss track that won 5 Grammys. He performed it in front of millions of people. Kill that nigga. Then 97% of Americans
Kill
in
that.
America
Jesus.
just screamed a minor
A
in unison, Drake. In unison. bro.
God damn it.
America has never been unified. Ever. Taylor Swift, Paul Rudd, the Eagles, and Kansas City. R. Kelly, ironically, the
R. Kelly.
even Donald Trump, the
Donald
president of
Trump.
the United States, all sang together in your demise. Kill him. Kill him. That's the only.
Fuck. I mean, yeah, Donald Trump was at the fucking. He was at the Super Bowl when it happened.
way you can
Now,
really
did he
kill him.
sing to it? I don't think so.
Then the nigga followed up with turn his TV off after America called you a pedophile on national television in real time. Kill the nigga. You a killer, right?
God
You a
damn
killer,
it.
right? That's what you be talking
Oh
about
my
on your
god,
songs.
this is
right?
hurting my face.
You gotta do it. That's the only way you're coming back from this. That's the only way.
That's the only way you're coming back, bro.
Or oh yeah, you really are a bitch. Or kill yourself, nigga. I don't know. All right, that'll make you probably look like a bigger. bitch, but
Fucking
at
get
least
the
you won't
news.
have
I
to
don't
be
know.
alive
Fucking
to
jump off the
endure
cliff.
All of this embarrassment. My God, Drake. There's even a show on Hulu about the L you took.
Wait, what? Wait. No. No! Oh my god. They're just farming. Now, you say streamers farm? Holy shit. Fucking musicians know how to farm fucking battles, dude. Yeah, you thought streamers were farmers? Musicians were the first, right? Hollywood was the first farmers. You guys have no... Streamers have nothing on fucking these goddamn people. Fuck. You would have fucking people gunning each other down, starting fights, stabbing each other over this shit. Oh my god, is this shit coming back? I mean, it's still happening to this day, right? I mean, some of these rappers and R&B artists who get into some of this shit get into some gang affiliations and get into some fucked up shit, right? So I mean,
I'm watching it right now.
I'm watching it.
Hip hop's heavyweights going head to head.
I don't even need to hear nothing else. Kendrick.
Kendrick did not destroy Drake the way he said it.
Holy shit!
Bill Gates and Elon.
God damn it! Oh shit! Oh fucking people, man. I just said hello on Insta. Did you see? No, I don't use Instagram. I guess it. You think I'm on Instagram right now? Out of all the fucking, I don't have notifications on Instagram either. Like I said, I don't use Instagram. I only popped on Instagram a couple times just for the fun of it. Other than that, I don't fucking use social media. I mean, if you really wanted to talk to me, you could just say it in fucking chat. like, what? Like right here. You just use Insta for Reels? What do you mean Reels? Oh, just looking at other people's content when I need to? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what I use X for. I mean, that's what I use fucking... I don't even have a fucking TikTok account. Right? I mean, if there's any information on there that I need, yeah, I'll bring it up. But yeah, no, I don't... Other than that, no, I don't use it. Yeah. What about Discord? I don't even use my own Discord. I'm not even logged into my own Discord. What do we got here for Mr. Elon? Well, you must reply to those who message you. Nobody messages me on those platforms. The only people that message me are you. And then every time I have to go onto the platform and fucking look at it, and I don't want to look at it. When you could just fucking type it right here. Because I'm literally right here.
In a plot twist that nobody saw coming, yet everybody saw coming. In a plot twist that nobody saw coming.
I was just about to show you something. Show me
Elon
what?
Musk has launched a hostile takeover bid to gain control.
There's
over
not
OpenAI
really
by
anything you
offering
need
the
to show
board
me.
97 point. In a plot twist.
Only
that
me?
nobody saw
Well, I
coming,
mean, you're the
yet
one who
everybody saw
fucking is
coming,
trying to
the
make me
world's
look
most
at my
powerful man,
goddamn social
Elon
media
Musk, has
account
launched
for
a
some
hostile
fucking
takeover
reason.
bid to gain control over OpenAI by offering the board $97.4 billion, which is not a bad deal for a company with only $3.7 billion in revenue that burns through over $5 billion per year. Unfortunately, Sam Altman has already declined this generous offer and even made a counteroffer to buy Twitter. Elon then responded.
You are literally the only person who comes into my chat and actively asks for my social media handles and then tries to message me on my social media accounts, even though I don't fucking use them. So yes, only you.
Responded by calling Sam a swindler and came up with the new nickname of Scam Altman. People are calling Elon a financial terrorist, but there's more to Elon's offer than meets the eye, and it's yet another 5D chess move to troll his arch nemesis and finally beat the game of total world domination. In today's video, we'll analyze the recent sharks fire and what could be
I
the
mean,
most
look,
consequential
ever
leap
since
of
Sam Altman fucking took OpenAI off open source, it was a little strange. You remember I've talked on Insta? Well, yeah. Why else? What are you on about? Are you here to ask me to help you on your issues with money? I'm not gonna help you. What?
our lifetimes.
What are you even
It is
on?
February 11th, 2025, and you're watching The Code Report. Whether you love him or hate him, you gotta give Elon credit for his impressive developer portfolio. He made electric cars cool, he put internet in space,
shit.
installed brain chips in us, it took control of the federal government, and is well on his way to fulfill the prophecy in Wernher von Braun's 1954 book, Mars Project, where a character named Elon becomes the leader of Mars. But he's still missing
God
one
damn it.
critical piece to win the game of
What do you
total
mean
world
by money?
domination,
Well, I mean,
and that piece is artificial
didn't you
intelligence. He already
message
has
me
X
last
and
time
Y
about that
but
one
OpenAI has
incident
become
about
like
that
Coca-Cola.
person
It's
who
just overpriced sugar
ran
water, but
out
there's a ton of value in the brand
commission
name.
or
You can get
whatever?
cheaper AI from RC
And then you
Cola
tried to
and
ask me
tasty AI
about
from Pepsi, but
trying to
Coca-Cola
give you
still
money
dominates. The thing about
for that
OpenAI
commission
is that
or
it's
some
trying to
shit.
go from this weird capped profit structure to a full for-profit public benefit corporation, and that doesn't sit well
Oh,
with
that was
Elon
weird.
because he donated
I don't
around
know why
$50
you would do
million
that.
to it when it was a non-profit. That's toilet paper money to Elon, but he's refusing to let this rug pull go because he cares too much about the safety of humanity. That's what he says, but OpenAI released receipts.
With AI, we are summoning the demon.
About the safety of humanity. That's what he says, but OpenAI released receipts a few months ago showing how Elon wanted to merge OpenAI with Tesla.
Well, I mean, he kind of did he not?
And take control of it back then to fulfill his manifest destiny of bringing the world AGI. Now, despite this generous offer from a guy who's currently going as Harry Balls and offering circumcision,
I was in difficulty at that time, huh?
Low considering how SoftBank
What does that
just
even mean?
valued
Do you even
OpenAI at
English?
$260 billion days ago. But the interesting thing about Elon's offer is that it's
You
only
you
for
mean
the
you were having a
which
difficult
OpenAI
time?
says is fairly valued at $40 billion, and they want to keep that value as low as possible when transitioning to the for-profit structure. You can't buy a non-profit outright, but you can buy its assets, and in this case, one of its assets is control over the for-profit. And that means if it's truly valued at $40 billion, the board of directors would be crazy not to sell it to Elon for over double the price, at least in theory. But what it does in reality for the time being is complicate OpenAI's transition to for-profit, because OpenAI profit needs to compensate OpenAI non-profit for its ownership of OpenAI profit. And what that means is that jacking up the price of the non-profit makes it more difficult for the non-profit to abandon its mission of creating AI for the benefit of humanity to sell itself out for a for-profit mission for the benefit of share.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure OpenAI went shareholder route. They didn't go for humanity route. They went for shareholder route.
Shareholders. Not to mention, Microsoft is entitled to a share of OpenAI's future profits, so it likely complicates
See, there it is. There it is. Microsoft, Sam Altman. Now you can kind of see why fucking Elon's a little upset.
Deal as well. Now, I highly doubt that Musk is doing this for autistic, altruistic reasons,
No.
but Altman is no good guy either. I feel like
No, I mean, look, when Elon Musk first made OpenAI, right, he made it very clear that he wanted it open source. And then when he left, and gave it to Sam Altman to take care of. Sam Altman decided to go on a different path and fuck him over. So that's, yeah.
Like I'm reliving 1866.
I mean, that's just what happens with some business partners.
Cornelius Vanderbilt tried to take over
Oh,
the
they
Erie
will
Railroad,
fuck you in
while
the butt
Fisk and Gould
sometimes.
used market manipulation to fight off the hostile takeover. But there are other elements.
Yeah,
of
in a sense, Sam Altman took over OpenAI, and it was like a hostile takeover, right? Because they changed the whole business model. And then now you have DeepSeek that has kind of the same layout as OpenAI. The Chinese know how to fucking replicate shit real good, huh?
Like OpenAI is about to release its own chip, and just a few weeks ago they released.
With
a
whom
chatbot
are you
specifically
talking?
for
Oh
the
no, I'm
government.
just talking
Meanwhile,
to.
Elon
I'm
is
just
running
giving my opinion on it.
Doge, which has been uncovering all kinds of waste and abuse of taxpayer money, and the entire deep state is terrified of this 19-year-old hacker named Big Balls.
Big balls, yeah, the big balls too.
Big Balls. He's one of Elon's Doge.
I'm not talking to anyone. It's the video. I'm just what? I'm reacting to the video.
Employees and is now a senior advisor to the U.S. State Department. And now my Illuminati handler, who is being paid by USAID, is worried he might lose his job. Ultimately, though, the
are you kind of confused at what streamers do or something? Do you not watch TV shows?
likelihood that Elon actually buys OpenAI.
Do you not watch? Have you not heard the radio? I don't know if I can.
Sitting at 3% in the betting markets. But one thing's for sure: the great Elon Altman beef is far from over. This has been the.
I think this is why you're an art student and not a fucking. Not some stuff. I'm being an asshole.
Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
The Code Report. Thank you. I don't have much time to watch fucking things. Well, I mean, how do you not have time? You're a fucking art major. What are you fucking talking about? You probably have the most time in the fucking world. Like, what? From code tutorials to a very probabilist. Dystopian future, news anchor. This guy is ahead of the curve for sure. When you hear about this, you'd think they discussed this in private meeting in an office with documents and stuff, like in a professional setting. But no, it's just on Twitter. Yeah, that's another weird thing. Yeah, a lot of business leaders are starting to use Twitter as like their platform to like announce announce very I guess products and shit sometimes. It's really weird. Or like talk to their employees through there. It's really weird. I don't know why instead of just going to the fucking office to deal with that shit. Like doing my assignments and making some art. I mean it's art though. You're not writing any papers or anything. You're just drawing things. You're just what? Sorry, maybe I have a misconception about art majors. You can fucking go. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, actually, let's do this one. Exposing Kanye West. Yeah, Kanye has been on a fucking... He's been on a rant recently.
Alright, so if you didn't know, Ye went on a wild Twitter rant, like he usually does.
I don't have time to watch fucking Trump. Well, I'm not... What? Why are you so hung up about Trump? You know there's other things to watch, right?
Alright, so if you didn't know, Ye went on a wild Twitter rant, like he usually does. But this one was a little bit different. This time, he decides to empty the clip. He decides to insult everyone, and I mean everyone.
Anything related to Trump?
His
wife pulled up as well, but her clothes did not pull up with her, and Kanye just standing there while people taking pictures. It was not a good look. People didn't like it.
I wasn't even talking about Trump. What are you talking about?
People go to the website, and it's racist memorabilia stuff, which prompted Shopify to take down the website and its talent agency to drop him. But let's go back to his wild Twitter rant.
Alex, what are you even talking
you are
about?
Not missing out on anything. But let me just put it to you like this: he goes as far as to say "Free Diddy." Like, he's just trying to get people mad at this point. But you see,
free Bob, free Diddy.
Like, the wild tweets just didn't hit the same for most folks, and that is a bigger problem.
Well, I mean, I don't know what happened to his account. I don't know if he deleted his account or
people care. He needs his name to be on the news.
Do I like animations? I guess. I don't know what.
News, so he could then
random questions.
Drop an album or
I guess.
Drop some merch. And guys, this goes back. I said the same thing last year during Kanye's rant when he dropped an album. But the thing is, again, you gotta.
What was the album? Graduation. Was that the one he was talking about?
Pablo. The lead single for the album was a song called "Famous." In that song, listen closely. He says a line that says, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have." I can't say that word. Why? I made that. I can't say that yet.
Oh shit! I can't say any of this shit in the songs. Oh shit!
Basically saying he's the one who made Taylor Swift famous.
Yeah.
Remember, years before he said the line in 2009, he said the line in 2016. He walked on stage in the VMA Awards, took the mic from Taylor Swift, and said,
that was pretty funny.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had a better music video, which she did, but that's besides the point.
But she
did. Like me and Taylor, that line in 2016 just confused people. They're like, why is he bringing up Taylor Swift again? He's bullying her. His name is all over.
And what your honest reviews on them? Why do you want my reviews? See, this is the issue why I don't like social media.
The news, boom, he drops his album. It does numbers. It does great. But you see, this moment has always been suspicious to me. Because Kanye was always a little controversial, but he was never controversial just for the sake of being controversial. He never just blatantly said a super controversial line.
Can you do that? I don't know.
The moment he learned that controversy means bigger album
I don't see why I have to.
The whole moment we just talked about earlier, when he first took the mic.
You can literally
Swift,
do that yourself. Like what?
Album. After that moment, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and of course the album is a masterpiece, but everyone wanted to hear what.
Or you could literally post it on Instagram and have people, try and what? I'm so confused.
So the album went insane first week. Now let me be clear. I don't think the only reason he does
you could use social media platform to try and get people to, drive interactions.
Things is because
I don't know why you're going to a streamer who has barely any say in anything.
Somewhere along the line, his mental illness heavily came into play, and he just started doing worse and worse things. But the timing of his releases and his episodes are just too coincidental. It just seems that right behind every Kanye insane moment, there's gonna be an album drop. This time, no different. He has an album coming out called Bully, and here's where it's.
So now it's Bully. Okay. Will he like her or not? So before showing him you reviews, sorry, I don't give free reviews.
Times are changing, old man.
If you're going to use me as some kind of fucking review puppet, yeah, no, not gonna happen.
Walked in right now and showed that Google Maps has changed Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Boy, you think people care that you sitting over here tweeting? And the crazy part is, Kanye's one of the people that have made.
Also, you're asking the wrong person. I'm. I don't care about that shit.
This happened. Made people have this thick skin. Remember Red Hat era Kanye? By the way, I believe after this he dropped an album called Donda. People were losing their minds. They said, Kanye, what's he doing? Oh, but people got used to that.
Also, don't you have like friends in your major or school that can help you with, reviewing things? Are you asking some random person who doesn't know anything about you to do it?
So years later, he's about to drop another album, Vulture, so he has to get in his Twitter bag, start saying things to get him banned off the platform. People got.
Or you could just post it on like social, like X or something like that, to drive interactions to get people to, you know, review it. I don't have friends and don't have family. I'm alone. Why do you do that to yourself? Do you not interact with teachers?
He has to say
Do you not interact with people in your in your own class?
And now his next album has to actually be good, or he is finished. And ask Kanye fans in my comments when's the last time he made something.
I don't like posting on such platforms.
He's done now. Not
well,
finished.
that's not my problem.
I'm sure there will still be a lot of people tuning into his next album just to hear what he has to say. He still has a lot of fans, but I'm sure he also has a lot of people that'll be curious. He's made a lot.
I don't like talking with them. He still kind of has okay, so you're a person who wants to get reviews for your art,
with his crazy tweets,
but you're not willing to talk to people. Instead, you're more willing to talk to some random person on the internet.
Because what has shielded him before, the really good music, is not very good anymore.
It's strange, but okay, I guess.
He'll be the mentally ill guy that
That's
makes
one way to go about that.
And speaking of mental illness, I'm sure his mental illness exacerbates.
You kind of sound like Kanye West a little bit with your mental illness.
All the tweets that he be tweeting out.
I just find that befuddling.
Mental illness on everything. I think if you just say Ye has a mental illness, it's okay. It's an insult to people with mental illnesses. Two things could
No, I think Kanye is just he's. People say he's bipolar. I don't know, man. I mean, Kanye has said a lot of shit in the past. Well, what was the first instance he went off the rockers? Well, then again, it's because he was a fucking musician and his drug use of certain things. Right, a lot of these people are drug users. Who don't know who to speak with elders with the respect. What? What? How? What? I'm so confused. You don't like to talk to people who don't know how to speak with elders. That doesn't make any sense. So you just view anyone in your or anyone in your class or major to be just disrespectful. Is that it? Is that where you're going with this?
At the same time, he can have a mental illness and he could be a guy that does too much. But at the end of the day, who cares what he says? And I know there's an argument of all the stuff Kanye is tweeting, people can get influenced by it and think like him. Boy, if you were predisposed to turning racist because Kanye said some racist things, then wisdom is chasing you, but you are faster. And I wash my hands of you. Let them turn. Let them turn.
Let them turn. Bro, look, people are wild. People do some crazy shit. Right? People fucking eat drugs to fucking OD. You got people fucking doing some weird social engineering shit to fuck with people. Right, pick your flavor. Life sucks. You got a bunch of shit to deal with. Have fun. If he wanted attention, then he should, drop good music. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people have been saying he's been doing bad music nowadays. Right? Whereas before, like, if you looked back back when he was making music like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, right? It was better. Now it's like, oof. How to promote an album like Kanye. Go on, press run. Hop on some features. Random hate tweets. Would you call those random hate tweets? I don't know, man. He was talking about Diddy. He brought up Hayden Ross and shit. People were like trying to talk to him and shit too when this shit was popping up. was so funny. Has just released his 2011th album. Huh. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zebi, for the information. All right, let's see. Well, let's do the AI poison pill. We can destroy the slop channels. No, we can't. There's too many. Right, because they just you destroy one, like 2 or 3 more pop up. Right? I hate to say it, but day by day, a lot of more bots enter into the fucking network. Right, depending on how many times these people are trying to scale their fucking bot network.
This video is
not only that, but you probably have some of them probably getting some of their bots taken down, so then they have to change the code a little bit, right? Obviously, and then reintroduce new bots.
Stick around to hear more about the special offer they're providing to the entire upper echelon community. Okay, just to get something out of the way right off the bat here, the title isn't clickbait. Anyone watching this in particular?
No, I know it's not clickbait. I mean, it's true though. Given a lot of shit I know, yes.
Established YouTube creator who's ever had their content stolen by AI slop channels or websites, which is a growing issue for the
Oh no, I'm a slop channel because I'm watching this and I upload it and react to it. I'm sorry.
Channels. And if more people start doing it, we might even be able to poison the actual language models themselves.
No, I'm
which are constantly
sorry.
Scraping YouTube videos.
I didn't want to poison the well.
That's kind of unlikely.
I'm not trying to.
I'm allowed to dream, aren't I? It's a bold
people already
claim,
poisoned
I know,
it
but
though.
I'm excited for this one because you really can do it. And I think it's pretty cool to have a method of fighting back against these tech bro loser content thieves who cynically advertise all over the internet how easy it is to make.
Well, I mean, right? You have the
people on FBI watch lists.
Whoa,
Welcome to.
Oh, whoops. Well, I mean, you have yeah, a lot of these channels, yeah. Not really getting. Yeah, how to start a YouTube automation business. Yeah, a lot of these. Yeah, how to a step-by-step process to do this business and in 10 minutes. It's like, no, that doesn't work anymore.
Thieves who cynically.
How I create a YouTube automation videos with AI. I can make a lot of money.
All over the internet how easy it is to make an
you have VTubers getting the slop effect, right? People targeting them. You have fleshies getting targeted, right?
An automated faceless channel and get rich by doing it. Let me give some background real quick because it's actually a multifaceted problem.
Yes.
First, on the top level, you have major AI companies who are actively harvesting as much content as they
True, like Meta. When Meta AI put that shit on their goddamn platform. They're just putting in fake fucking people and it was fake bot created by Meta.
Hundreds of thousands of videos.
Do some research.
Of thousands of YouTube channels. According to an investigation done by Proof News, co-published with Wired Magazine, back in July of 2024, Anthropic, Microsoft.
Oh yeah, there's also a company that's scraping old YouTube videos and YouTube videos to use for their AI slop.
Nvidia, among others, had already scraped videos from nearly 50,000 different channels. And since then, the problem is only ever getting worse. One step down, under the publishers, you have the parasite ecosystem, which is a much more commonly visible problem for everyday viewers because thousands of people, probably more like tens or hundreds of thousands of people, have decided, what if we just use these AI tools to try and make money as quickly as possible, which then leads to a barrage of channels which are stealing content, plagiarizing, and spitting out generative trash for the sake of ad dollars. You can find all sorts of different creators complaining about this because oftentimes an AI content farm will have a set of specific victims and then chronically steal their content with minimal changes, republishing it for their own channel. This is the most immediately harmful group when it comes to everyday YouTubers being impacted.
I mean, how I steal YouTube is so blatant about it. That's so funny.
Last up, you have the bottom feeders, which is basically every other platform stealing content from YouTube.
Hey, I'm not a bottom feeder. That's rude. Fuck you.
And then putting it back out as blog posts or news articles or whatever.
Oh, okay.
This kind
He's
of stuff
talking
is
about that.
relatively
Oh.
insignificant because
He's
at the very
talking about like embedding and stuff like that.
least they don't directly compete with the original videos that are being stolen. So poisoning them is certainly a bonus, but it's not really
Oh, well, I mean, I think he's talking about like React content streamers too.
the main concern. For today, the main concern is the parasite ecosystem. However, depending on what level of adoption there is, we can potentially poison all three of them, which is awesome. Now, to properly explain
What if it's already been poisoned? Right. Right. If everything, what if everything has already been poisoned? Right. What if it's already been poisoned? Yeah. It's all poisoned. Worst botnet countries. Active last bots in the last 24 hours. Also, this I don't know if this puts in bots that companies have, because a lot of companies have their own bots to deal with retail or some type of communication or something, right? I don't know if this bot so it could be, right? Yeah.
what this is and why it works, we need to understand what precisely the AI content thieves are doing, which is best done with an example. This right here is a small scale representation of
Yeah, like, oh yeah, a lot of the South Park stuff, yeah.
Castle.
There's been some South Park channels. I think a lot of some certain TV shows, some of those channels
Which
try to do it on those.
Prior to this, because it is kind of inactive now, but it used to focus on South Park. These videos are typically riddled with errors and various different mistakes, but the point isn't to have good content. The point is to have
just
easy
to push it, yeah.
Which is why this channel primarily stole the videos
even
from
with
an actual YouTuber
some
named
fucking
Johnny
mistakes.
2 Celos. We can see a ton more examples of this happening out in the wild when it comes to the science community in particular, because for some reason that's one of the
Voyager,
industries that's
exactly.
infested right now. Kyle Hill has an excellent piece on this, which goes into much more detail about the problem. But for right now, I'll stick with my smaller example of Cartoon
certain science,
Castle, just so we can
fucking with Tesla and cryptocurrency and it happens with those. What else?
more clear on the actual process. It's not really complicated. AI slop
But yeah, I mean,
channels
it's
using a variety
possible
of
to
different
do it with
tools, which
anything,
all basically
right?
do
If you
the
just
same
had
thing.
enough.
Scrape a YouTube video for its captions. In this case, why Kenny is the most important character in South Park, which got 3.2 million views on the original, versus the AI plagiarism version called South Park's Most Important Character. They scrape the captions and then feed those captions back into an AI model, like ChatGPT or whatever it happens to be, and make slight changes or just summarize them to make something new. After that, they feed the text into an AI voiceover program and then either steal the actual visuals from the original video.
And then yeah.
For the South Park example, you can
I mean,
see
yeah,
that they
they're just copy
cropped out
pasting
the
in a
original
sense.
YouTuber's watermark in the bottom left.
Yeah,
Or
they
use a
just take
combination
out
of
the
AI
watermark,
editing tools to spit something out in the
degrade
background.
the
Start to finish, they
video
can
and
take a
audio,
video
maybe.
and republish it within a couple hours tops.
Yeah.
But if they really go down the automation route, they can have a channel which basically does all of it for them, start to finish, by just selecting a popular existing YouTube video and feeding it into the system. Now, for the South Park example, it's obviously a huge discrepancy in viewership. The AI copy only got a few thousand views versus the original getting millions.
Yeah.
But that's not always true. Sometimes the stolen content gets more traction than the original.
Yeah.
We're talking about content farm AI slop channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers here. And these videos are also competing for the exact same keywords, which means they're basically siphoning traction and revenue from the original video.
Yeah, they're just copy
The
pasting.
more this happens, the worse it is for real creators.
Easy.
But what we have to remember is that the majority of AI slop traces back to some form of original content that was already produced on the platform. That's what gives us the ability to poison it. So this is kind of an odd way for me to announce
I
this
mean,
right now.
oh yeah, it's kind of the same thing with the reaction with people reacting to a certain channel and then taking the thumbnail and then putting their image on it and then re-upload. Right, it's kind of the same way, right? Especially when you have a group of certain people doing it. Especially VTubers on one channel. It's
I'm
like,
actually
oh,
going to Japan
okay.
for 3 weeks in March.
This is
More
weird.
precisely the 3rd to the 23rd of March, which means either no videos during that time frame or maybe a couple if I manage to pre-make and schedule them. But regardless, when I do go, I'm going to be using a service called Saley, which has also agreed to be today's video sponsor, which is an eSIM application for seamless internet connectivity while traveling. I'm not very good at traveling, to be totally honest. I don't even do it that much anymore, but one thing I obviously need is consistent internet. I'm a YouTuber after all, let's be real, my whole job is to just be on the internet a bunch. And Saley lets me do that while traveling without having to physically wait in line at the airport and get a SIM card and be overcharged, etc., etc. It minimizes roaming fees, has 24/7 support, good pricing for the country I'm visiting. There's a bunch of reasons why I'll be using it, but the simple version is that I can just download the app on my phone and be done after getting a plan. If that sounds like something you might want as well, there's a 15% discount on data plans for international travel if you download the application and use code ECHELON at checkout. Again, for anyone who travels a lot and wants to use a discounted eSIM internet plan while doing so, you can download Saley and use code ECHELON at checkout for 15% off. Big thank you to Saley for sponsoring the channel. Back on task. Just to be completely clear, this is happening in tons of different ways all the time.
Yep.
AI slop channels are scraping news articles and rewording them to make videos. They're summarizing popular videos and turning them into a bunch of YouTube shorts.
Well, you have the issue with journalists, right? Re-uploading, right? Just copy pasting, right? The where they got the article from, and then posting it on their own fucking news site, and then linking, hey, this is what happened, right? I hate to say it, but yeah, Time Magazine, fucking Reuters, right? All these news media outlets do it.
They're even combining
CNN does it. MSNBC probably does it, right?
Shorter compilation videos, all for the sake of easy revenue. But the critical thing to be aware of is that they do this because they're lazy.
Yes.
AI slop channels are not
Right. It isn't even just the AI channels. It's just people in general are fucking lazy. Right. Who was that one intelligence community person who's like, oh, humans will lie, cheat, and steal all the time, or something like that. It's true.
painstakingly watching, understanding, transcribing, and then
steal all the
modifying
fucking
the content
time.
that they plagiarize. They're going down the path of least resistance, and what allows them to go down that path is the YouTube caption system. Now, obviously, captions are a good thing in general. It lets people read, supports those with disabilities, and I'm not advocating that people stop using
Too
them.
bad I can't
Far
use
from it.
captions
But it
unless
turns
I
out
have
that
to
there
like
is
I have to
something we
like
can
type
do
it out myself.
without impacting most people that rely on captions, which simultaneously poisons the content so much that AI tools either fail to analyze it totally or produce a completely compromised and nonsensical version, even so far as to be able to make the output from your videos just straight up insulting to the people who are attempting to steal it, thereby forcing them to either do a shit ton of manual labor themselves or just stay away from your videos completely.
Yeah.
Quick shout out. I was not the person who first discovered this. That would be a YouTuber named Fami. Definitely subscribe to her. She is absolutely fantastic.
Fami?
Super cool videos. It's very, very worth it. But for something like this to be effective, as many people as possible need to know about it. And they need to understand how to do
poisoning
it for themselves.
AI with
because
ass
the more people who end
subtitles.
up poisoning their content in some form or another, the harder it is for the
I mean, I think people already knew it. It's just nobody was making like a whole like descriptive video on it, right? From what it seems, right? Upper Echelon made one, and then who was that? This person made one, right? Or this was the original maker, right? So it's like, I mean, people already knew about this stuff, so it's like
because the more people who end up poisoning their content in some form or another, the harder it is.
This
for
is
the
just
slop
an
channels to even exist. And
informative
going all the way
video
out to
on
an
what's
extreme
been
example,
happening
it
with
could turn YouTube
just
itself into a
content
minefield
creation
for
in
major
general.
AI companies when it comes to training.
Because I think this
data,
even
right?
started
Training,
happening. I would assume this started happening even with YouTube's conception when it first started too. Right. I mean, people were making content. At a certain point, people wanted to probably make, right, simple, easier content and not have to spend a bunch of time. So at a certain point, you had people, right, copying each other.
LLM, unless they find new and more.
I mean, it's like, right, it's like in the education field. Or, right, people fucking plagiarizing shit. I mean, even till this day, you have people, like, mischaracterizing data and, like, research that has to do with health research, right? It's like, whoa, dude, what are you doing?
Demanding ways of scraping the videos. To be clear, it's not a permanent solution, by the way, because much the same way cybersecurity is a perpetual tug-of-war match with hackers,
it
AI
is a
scraping and
perpetual
content theft is
tug-of-war.
sort of like that too. But at the very least, it's a mechanism where creators can start to push back.
Yes.
Because for a while now, it's been a really
I mean,
one-sided.
as long as you know what's going on and you can spot the AI channels and report them, I mean, that's the best you can do, right? Because all they do is just push out content constantly. So all you can do is try and report them as much as they pop
where
up.
content thieves were practically facing zero resistance whatsoever. In the short term, on a much more realistic level, it deals damage to plagiarism slop channels, and it's all thanks to a creative use of the caption system discovered by Fami.
Well, I mean, some of these channels, I mean, they may hurt channels sometimes, but also some of these channels boost popularity for said channels. It's dependent on situation to situation. Right, I would assume with some content creators, especially if they're doing, I guess sexualized content, for instance, you're probably gonna get people who are more easily able to watch those people, right, and not have any problems. But then you also have, right, the other spectrum where you have, right, people who are trying to slander, right, either the flesh tubers, right, fleshies, or the VTubers through using AI content,
which hides information in the video and makes it basically poisonous for AI.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
a look at this. These are two identical uploads, unlisted on my channel. I'll put links down below in the description. One titled Feed the Machine, the other titled Poison the Machine. Both of these videos are functionally the same. It's a 42-second poem about how amazing artificial intelligence is for humanity. But if you feed these videos into any of the typical AI summarizing or transcription tools, you get wildly different results. For today, I'm using Crisp.ai, Comb.ai, and Galaxy.ai as basic examples. But every other tool that I also tested while making the video either failed to transcribe the poisoned version at all, which was pretty common, or spat out similar gibberish because the poisoning method actually works. Let me show you. Crisp spits out a text file summary of the video that you give to it, and this is what the file says for Feed the Machine, my 42-second non-poisoned poem that's praising AI. Quote, AI is depicted as a transformative force that brings thought and light, acting as a guiding presence in the various aspects of life, end quote. I won't read the whole thing, but it's basically summarizing my little trashy poem correctly as well. And if we move over to a transcription tool, Comb.ai, we can see an actual word-for-word transcript, which is pretty much accurate in terms of what I said. Last up is Galaxy, and this one also apparently turns it into a blog post with like a fake writer or author for it.
What the fuck?
Massively expanding how much text is there to do it.
Oh, this format. Some sites actually use this kind of format. I wonder if some of these journalists are fucking running their shit through AI just to format. Yikes.
Is there But the point is that
Yeah, journalists and newspaper articles and shit.
my poem, Feed the Machine, when it gets scraped by these AI tools, doesn't really present them with any problems. Now let's switch over. This is Poison the Machine. Same poem, same words, same everything, same audio, literally everything. Except this time, if I analyze it with crisp.ai, the text file that it spits out looks like this. Quote, "The discussion begins by framing Silicon Valley as a collective toilet, a metaphor that encapsulates the social, environmental, and economic issues associated with the region." End quote. Again, I won't read the whole thing. It's on screen right now if you want to. And it's painfully over-embellished by the AI program to sound smarter and more eloquent than it actually is. But my little 42-second poem is now a giant...
Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but in academic writing, you do use flowery words sometimes. I mean, you kind of act like a fucking robot. It's fucking... when you're doing fucking academic writing. Alright, especially when it's like super medical or like heavy in science, right? It sounds fucking robotic.
Explanation of why Silicon Valley is America's toilet. If we switch over to Comb, directly transcribing it, we see this, which is a massive text dump of not only why Silicon Valley is a toilet, but also why the Earth's core isn't actually rock or metal, it's human shit. Because this video has been poisoned, not only against AI, but also the lazy people who use AI to steal content for them. Keep in mind, the videos are functionally indistinguishable from each other. You're not seeing different subtitles here, because the viewer experience is pretty much unimpacted by any of this. However, the resulting effect on AI is that one of them is an accurate summary of the actual content, while the other is whatever I want it to be. Gibberish, insults, completely incoherent rambling. It doesn't matter, because the end result is that someone using that content in some sort of automatic AI pipeline to steal content for YouTube will output a completely garbage video from it that has nothing to do with what they think it does and doesn't compete with the original at all. If we jump over to galaxy.ai, the same little poem is now this pompous, self-indulgent blog post attempting to explain how the idea that the Earth's core is filled with human waste is a hyperbolic reflection on how society deals with its own wastefulness, both literally and metaphorically, when none of that is actually in the video. And also, no, it was literally an argument that scientists are idiots and the center of the Earth is filled with shit. These summarizers are often extremely pretentious and kind of self-glorifying for some reason.
Yeah, whoever's making these AI sites and whoever's training them, right, is obviously flooding it with stupid fucking dumb information, right? Whatever they're flooding the large language model with, yeah, it's fucking right. It's spitting out shit now because they haven't been cleaning it or anything, right? It's just constantly spewing out.
It didn't really seem to like summarizing the content properly, which I did think was kind of funny. Anyway, this can be done with any video on all of YouTube, as long as you have access to subtitle tracks. And the method itself is pretty simple. I find it incredibly satisfying, actually, because you get to use the same AI tools that are being used to steal your content in order to make it poisonous for them. So anyone who comes after you and tries to skim your work gets a dose of whatever narrative you want to feed to them,
whatever narrative,
which I think is fantastic.
That's pretty funny.
Right now. Step 1 is to take whatever video it is that you want to poison and feed it into an automatic subtitle generator. In this case, I used HappyScribe, which then spits out an SRT file, which is a subrip subtitle file that contains a pretty decent baseline subtitle track for the content. That's step 1. And of course, you can edit it and take out the mistakes, and you can put as much work as you want to into this process, but I'm just going to give you the rudimentary one for the moment. Step 2 is to use a conversion tool. In my case, I used ebby.co to make the SRT file an ASS file, .ass. Fami has way more explanation in her video about what these file types are and why you do this, and it's super entertaining and well done on top of that, so you should absolutely go watch it. But the simple version is that the .ass file has a lot more customization options. Step 3 is to open the .ass file in whatever editing program you want to, I used AGSub. All the links will be down below in the description, obviously, and go through adding subtitle lines in between all of the legitimate subtitles by just right-click add before or after in between all of them. Once that's done, you have to put a command that looks like this, right? A bracketed command for positioning in front of all those new blank lines, which basically moves the subtitles way off of the screen because position is one of the functions that the .ass files have, which other subtitle formats don't have. Then we get to the fun part. Hop on over to ChatGPT or whatever LLM you want to use and ask it to generate some sort of incoherent garbage or insulting story or, I don't know, literally anything. Big Bird is a cult leader bringing about the apocalypse. Purple Rain actually has nothing to do with music.
Right, as if you were barely any functional grasp of English language.
Funny story with that, actually. After I did a bunch of experiments with this using the Silicon Valley toilet example, I came back the next day and it kept telling me that the exact same prompt was now a violation of their terms. I don't think the tech bros like the fact that someone...
This is content made by a long argument that Silicon Valley should be used as a collective toilet for humanity, right? As if you have an low IQ and random person, nonsensical. That's one way to fuck with the people's goddamn large language models. Oh god, this is fucking hilarious. This is one way to fuck with companies. Because you know that some of these companies are just siphoning data and just fucking building their own bullshit.
Made the chatbot generate an essay that was insulting to them, which is hilarious, but anyway. Once you have the incoherent rambling, or the insults or the gibberish, whatever it is, you go back and you paste it paragraph by paragraph into the empty subtitle lines, and then you save the file and use this converter available on GitHub to turn your .ass file.
Why is there so many converters to do all this
shit? Which is YouTube's actual supported subtitle format. But by doing this, you keep the formatting that you had from the previous version. That is the placement of the subtitles relative to the screen.
Man, you have to do a lot of work to fuck with people. My god.
You originally got the subtitles from, and you upload the YTT track, deleting any other automatic subtitles afterward, and poof, you now have a video that displays normal subtitles to your audience, depending on whether or not there's minor spelling mistakes, is just whether or not you want to fix them. But it works, it looks normal to the audience, but also contains off-screen giant paragraphs of gibberish all over the place, tricking the AI summary or transcription tools into thinking that your little 42-second poem, in my case, is really 10 minutes of...
That's actually pretty smart. So basically, yeah, so basically in the background, there's actually text that the AI will actually have to read, right? And so once it reads that, it's like, oh, fuck, right?
Because toilet.
Right, because on screen, you see the correct stuff. But in the background, in large text, because he hid the position and everything. Right, it's in the screen, so right, it's still in the background. It's just hidden behind, right, hidden behind all the data and
the
stuff.
Center of the Earth is human shit. Any of the AI slop channels that now use this video for their automatic pipeline without checking, like a human being looking at it and checking all of it, will output complete nonsense. Even if they do check, they can't do anything about it unless they spend their own precious time and money actually watching and transcribing based on what you say in the video. And maybe they can go find a transcription tool which listens to the actual audio, which does exist. There are tools like that. But they'll probably have to buy yet another subscription to do that.
Yeah, honestly, I could probably look into those tools and actually run my video to get it transcribed, but I just don't. I'm just too lazy.
Like the first
I just uploaded to fucking
the last third looks normal,
YouTube,
and the middle third is just completely destroyed with incoherent trash, right? Like you can be, I don't know, pretty nefarious with how you poison these videos. On a larger scale, for the models scraping YouTube content every single day for the purpose of training data, this can make a science video into an hour-long nonsense rant about Beanie Babies. You can take a video about math equations or coding and pollute it with a badly written screenplay about invisible keyboard elves or whatever you can possibly imagine, using badly written AI slop to protect your own content from the AI slop content thieves. It's genius, and at the very least, it will sift out the lowest common denominator and make stealing your videos a whole heck of a lot more difficult for the advertiser.
Yeah, but what if they're not even, right, what if they're not even doing it the way you were doing it? What if they're just, right, ripping the video and just overlay, right, taking out the audio and everything, and then just overlaying it with, right, just words and, right, so it's like... I mean, yeah, you could do all that work. Yeah, see, this is the issue with what's happening, right? You have a lot of these bots who are just you don't know how deep it is, right? I mean, yeah, but that would just take way too much time to do all that, right? For each video, you would have to obfuscate, right?
Average person. You might see flashes of white text at the top of the screen for a split second here and there on the mobile version of the videos where this was done, but it really just comes down to tweaking the subtitles. Move them further off screen with a different command, use different line breaks, etc., etc. There's
I mean,
more
right,
ways
if
to do
for
it.
security
But the ability for
reasons,
any
yeah,
YouTuber
you
out
if
there
you
to
want
take a
really
video
wanted
right
to,
now
sure.
and effectively poison it against the slop farmers and the
Yeah.
AI scrapers and the thieves, in my view, is incredibly valuable. And I want to once again show appreciation for Fami, who spent a tremendous amount of time and creativity coming up with all this. At the end of the day, the problem of lazy AI-fueled plagiarism is only ever increasing. But now there's a method of, let's say, vaccinating your content against them, sort of. And the landscape of what it looks like will obviously change over time. But right now, it's incredibly simple, and it seems pretty effective for the amount of effort required. For
Yeah,
this,
basically, it's like leaving. It's like how hackers try to leave, right, certain information in the in the code to where if you execute or run it, you're fucked, right? Yeah, it's the same way with the how yeah, you're protecting your content, right? Yeah, it's like it's basically like poison. Like DNS, not DNS poisoning, but it's like tunnel poisoning, right? Leaking information in there that's obviously not good for, that's trying to clog up the flow of data and, right, cause issues with the TCP/IP or anything like that, right? The UDP, whichever. Right, anything to fuck the protocol up or anything, right? To get in.
Channels out there who have been specifically grappling with someone stealing massive amounts of your content,
Yeah,
please do consider doing this.
yeah, if someone,
because
yeah,
at least
that's
short
true.
term,
If someone's like trying to rip off all your videos, yeah, you might want to start doing this, right?
it will directly negatively impact the people that are stealing from you. And
Yeah.
they've been impacting you negatively this entire time. So yeah, anytime you can do something to strike back, I think that's pretty cool. That's it. If you want to support the channel,
Yeah.
check out the links down below. The video sponsor, of
It
course,
is a lot
Saley.
of work,
Also a
but,
special VPN deal.
yeah, if you
locals
don't
and
want to get
Patreon,
targeted,
monthly memberships,
the only way
and
to
more,
do
but
it.
I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything, and have a nice night.
Thank you, Mr. Upper Echelon. Yeah, given with all the, oh, why the fuck was that? Oh, because I'm on my other account, that's why. Like, what? Alright, unsubscribe. But yeah. It's a great war between content creators and slop farmers. Well, I mean, there was always a war. I mean, what? It hasn't begun. It has been for the last, I don't know, 10 years. When did YouTube first pop onto the field? 12 years? Fucking 2012? 2009? 2009? Google did this with their own AI search overview tool by letting it use Reddit shitpost comments and Onion news articles with apparent priority status. Remember that hilarity? That is true. In your creator, you can insert the entire script of the B movie into their backlog this way. Every channel slip exactly the same. Every like nerve gas to the bots. Call it Project Let It Be. That's a good one. Would it be possible to make a single freely accessible AS file that formatted with the text position markers and lines all already in place? It would ensure everyone uses the same voice and most. That's one way to do it. Yeah, just get the template and fuck everyone over. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, because if YouTube already has the YouTube bots combing through the VOD, making sure you're not copywriting or anything. Yeah, it's gonna see the whole Shrek movie. It's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is this? So yeah, it wouldn't work, because yeah, it would be it'd be looking at the data too, behind the scene. Right, because you're essentially remodifying the files and then converting them, right? And then adding your own touch to some of the, right? But yeah, there you go. And then there's the original. I'll probably watch the original on my own time.
Alright, so it's time to eat, you.
Anyways.